MacGyver is taking the night off, but you can see him Wednesday with a special presentation at 8, 7 Central.
The brakes are gone.
Now, an ABC movie special.
Word Balloon is brought to you by the League of Word Balloon Listeners.
You know, one of the things that was distinctive about Green Lantern growing up as a kid is that, and it's going to sound absolutely ridiculous, but he's one of the only characters where, as he's a, seemingly uptight, regular superhero character, he had hair that went over his ears. Whereas your main lead guys like Aquaman, Superman, even the guys out of costume, guys like Captain America, they always had real nice, tight and short haircuts that did not fit that 70s aesthetic. So to have characters created that had brown hair and brown eyes was like radical, and he's one of those. It's almost like the colorist would figure, like, why would I color somebody's hair brown? Why wouldn't I give it this more poppy color, either black with the blue highlights or yellow for blonde?
Word Balloon is brought to you by the League of Word Balloon Listeners. Become a patron today. Patreon.com/wordballoon. For as little as $3 a month, you can really help Word Balloon keep going and get exclusive content you won't find anywhere else. Here's what you get. The Word Balloon Magazine, a digital publication packed with behind-the-scenes interviews, commentary, and insights from your favorite comic book creators, writers, and pop culture stars. And you can join the Word Balloon Book Club. Join Brian Bendis and me for a live monthly discussion of a hand-picked graphic novel. It's a great way to dig deeper into storytelling, art, and comic book history. Word Balloon has been a home for creator conversations since 2005. Your support helps cover production costs and keeps these interviews going strong. So if you love comics, creators, and long-form conversations, become a patron today. Be one of the League of Word Balloon listeners. Patreon.com/wordballoon. Welcome back, everybody. Time again for Word Balloon, the comic book conversation show. John Sundquist here, and live from the Batcave, we have a very special guest. I'm so pleased to. Oh my God, it's not me. Bruce Wayne. It's Matt Fraction.
It's me. Hey, everybody. Hey,
how's it going, buddy? It's good to see you, man.
Oh, you too. Sorry.
No, don't be sorry at all.
Today, lots of Batman going on over here.
To say the least, absolutely, man. I'm very excited for this run that started today, and I even got a glimpse at issue 2 for next month.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, well, DC's been kind to me that way, and I appreciate that. Matt, honestly, first of all, this individual issue, and I'm so glad you started with a good self-contained story that is leading clearly to other things. But, Matt, it reminded me of your Rhino Tangled Web story from back in the day. Flowers for Rhino.
Oh, no, that's not me. That's I think that was that Azzarello or Paul Jenkins?
Oh my God! I thought it was you. Didn't you do something with Rhino where you wrote you wrote him kind of where good-hearted.
Yeah.
So all right, if it wasn't Tangled Web,
Punisher War Journal, that same kind of era though. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, there you go, Matt. Yeah. All right, I thought it was you. And again, just the way you really brought sympathy to Rhino in that story, and now sympathy for Killer Croc.
Yeah, I got a fondness for misunderstood monsters, and it felt like a good operating metaphor for kind of the opening statement of the book. Some character that can regenerate and be misunderstood, and people do people change? Do people not change ultimately? And what does it mean in a comic book, right? Where there's always just kind of the illusion of change sometimes, but maybe not. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, we'll see. And I think I've read in previous iterations where Croc has kind of calmed down. I also love, given that he is reptilian, that not only is he shedding his skin, but potentially, as the new doctor at Arkham is suggesting, that maybe he's shedding the evil side of his psyche, and he's
Yeah,
got a second chance.
and that's really from Willow's Poison Ivy run, where he's like my favorite supporting character in what is a tremendous book. But he's been exposed to a lot of weird shit over there. So it's like, you know what? Maybe he'll all go back to normal. That's fine. He can go. But it was a fun opportunity for, hey Jorge, let's see what Killer Croc looks like. What happens if he's changing? So no, it was cool. I'm glad you liked them. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Absolutely, man. Here, I got already some comments from people. Dennis said this East Coaster will be asleep, but bravo on a fantastic first issue. Been a fan since Iron Fist. You never fail to make a comic worth its cover price plus some. Peter Beiser, fantastic work, Matt. A real breath of fresh air. Excited to see what happens next. Hope you stay for a long time. Congrats, Matt and I were just saying this off the air. And
Look, I actually started like 16 months ago. Like I started like last April or May, maybe. I think April. I turned my first scripts in a year ago, June. I turned 1, 2, and 3 in June. So like, it's been in my head for a long time. It's awesome that it's finally out into the world. But like, it is yet to feel like work. So as long as it remains not feeling like work and DC is happy with everything, like I could stay here a long time. I just like remember like when Tom King said like he wanted to do 100 issues and thinking like, wow, what? Like that's ambitious, but also like just where's what, how? And now I've been here a little bit. I'm like, oh yeah, no, sure. There's 100 issues here. Easy.
That's so great to hear, Matt, because truly every one of you, whenever somebody new takes over a character like Batman, really the cornerstones of the superhero world, where again, a lot of these characters are having their 1,000th plus issues or 2,000 in the cases. What more is there to say, and how do you find new things to say about these guys?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think I did the math, and there have been Batman stories told consistently across various media for the last 1,036 consecutive months of human history, which is great because like it's a little bit like that South Park, like Simpsons did it. Like you're not gonna, maybe there's no new ones to tell. There's just new ways to tell them, And if you're one of the people that be like, well, there's only 6 stories or 4 stories or whatever it's 2 stories. Somebody comes to town, somebody leaves town, right? But so the stories are the same. It's the iteration and what you bring and all that stuff. So like it's really kind of freeing to be like, oh, great. There's no way this hasn't been done or touched or thought of in some iteration before, but ain't nobody done it the way I'm going to do it. So we'll see what happens.
Do I hear Pat Foot in the background?
Yeah, my dog's having a party.
God bless
him.
Sorry. No, give me a break. I love dogs. That's great, man. Whenever Kel posts a picture of your kids with the dogs, I'm always very happy. So that's totally fine. Don't sweat it. Matt, tell me about Alfred, because I love the way that he is positioned in issue 1. Is that AI? Is it in Bruce's head? Do we still need to find that kernel of whatever it is out? Oh, you turned off your mic, Matty.
Yeah, sorry, dog. It's not AI. It's not a hologram.
It's his conscience.
I don't know. Well, let's read it. Let's find out. Let's read.
Lovely, fantastic, man. Matt. I'm sorry.
I like to think like I did Iron Man for like a long time. Like I'm not. I don't have anything to say about like tech superhero guys, and like I did that. That feels really well trod for me.
Another great run of yours. Absolutely, man. Every now and then, Matt, I cherry pick our old conversations and I republish them.
Nice.
And yeah, that was such a great time. And also the timing was great because it literally was coming right after either the first or second movie. I forget which.
Oh yeah, the first. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
there you go. The first movie.
I had the very surreal experience of sitting there with my wife as the credits rolled, thinking, "Man, I wish I wrote Iron Man." Like, wait a minute, I do. Like, I was like 5 or 6 scripts in at that point. The first arc I hadn't finished. Yeah, I think I went home and started 5 that night.
Well, and as you say, you were writing Batman last year, or writing these issues.
Yeah.
Um,
It looks more prescient and more like it's
uh,
commenting on things, but I was not commenting on things. But
yeah, sad timing, I guess. I mean, certainly Portland went through all the stuff during
yeah,
COVID.
I'm
And
really talking about 2020 and what happened here. But
were
and
you? Is that true,
it
Matt?
sounds like you're
Was
going
that?
to be happening, what you'll be experiencing very soon. Enjoy that.
Why? I'm well aware. I know friends are asking me. They're like, "What do you think, Chicago?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm far enough away from downtown, but and again, not in a disparaging way. I am close to a Home Depot and a Menards where
Dude,
day workers
man.
are there, and
Dude,
I am curious if we'll be seeing military and ice.
tear gas drifts on the wind, my man.
Yeah, isn't that a
But
ride?
yeah, so it was really more about what that looked like then, but now it turns out it looks like it's timely commentary or something.
Yeah, and is it a gift to have Vandal Savage as commissioner of Gotham City?
Yeah, like it came from Chip's run.
Yep.
And it's such a cool, I mean, I didn't want to like just undo anything. I didn't want, Alfred's dead. Okay, Alfred's dead. And like it seemed like pretzels and peanut butter, but then you're like, wait a minute, pretzels and peanut butter is pretty dope. And like it was such a gift. Like it sets it gave me so much about what the take and the perspective on things were going to be. Like it's at least a little different, it's maybe not quite since like No Man's Land, but like, oh, he's really back-footed here. Like I don't want to spoil where things go, but it's been great. And like I love writing him. And he's got some moments coming up, and issues 8 and 9 are really intense, I think. But no, it makes total sense why the pairing works well. But we've always seen it as a part of big cosmic epic, Vandal Savage shenanigans, right? It's always part of some larger planetary some big Vandal Savage plan, and not just like, oh, what if I just want to fuck with your house? And
Yeah.
like, I got it. Okay, I get it now. I see what we're doing. Okay. Like, that's been a lot of fun. And like, it's cool. Like Jimmy Gordon's a beat cop. He's a fucking 68-year-old beat cop or whatever. Like, great. What is that like? That makes me think about that's just me thinking about The Wire, that season where McNutty was a patrolman and happy again. Season 4, the best season, except for seasons 3, 2, 5, and 1, of course, which were the other best seasons of The Wire.
I'm with you, man.
But no, it was a Chip. I mean, I've said this before, and forgive me for repeating myself. Anybody that's been following the Batman press barrage, but like, I read my friends' work, I follow what they do, and it like all of Chip's run was like putting the pieces all back on the board after like 2 decades from like Grant, Scott, and Tom and James just on Batman alone, let alone all the other, like, just, it was all this stuff. And like Chip was kind of piece by piece putting everything back. And then he left, like he finally got done and kind of took off. So I hate it for him, but at the same time, it's a gift to me, because it's like, oh, great. It feels like a new starting point. It feels, I didn't come on the book knowing they were thinking about doing a renumbering or a relaunch, but it's not born out of any big continuity event, but like it makes sense. Like it's a pretty clean moment to declare intentions and reset the table, and let's go out there and do it.
I talked to Loeb a month or so ago, and he kind of laid out that obviously his story, which is reaching midpoint, will take a break, come back, and I don't know how numbering or title will go, and that doesn't matter. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I suspect the numbering will continue, and the last issue of Hush will be the last of what Batman Volume 3 is, and like I know where he's going and what he's up to, and like, you know, sometimes if there aren't things reflected in our book, it's because there's other things happening in other places, and I'm just sort of biding my time, and like I said, I as long as everybody remains happy and enjoying things, like oh yeah, no, there's time. Yeah, you need 100 issues to touch everything you want to touch, you know. Because it's a deep bench. That's the other thing. It occurred to me today is like I've never worked on characters this old. Like, you know, Fantastic Four. That's the oldest Marvel continuity there is, really. Nope, there's another 40 years of it. Like, oh my god, this goes on forever. And that's just a comic. That's not even thinking about all the different iterations of everything, you know?
Yeah, I do. Jared has a good question.
Hit me, Jared.
We'll keep it spoiler free, but he just wants to know what your thoughts are on Damian Wayne. Any ideas for him in this run?
He's the son of the demon. I love it. He's great. Batman has a kid, and he's a dick. It's amazing. You're gonna see Damian in issue 2 and throughout. I got big ideas and plans for Damian. And just as a father who has been a father now long enough that I feel like I can not just talk about the idea of parenting, but sort of what it means to watch a kid grow up. You know, my son turns 18 in 6 days.
Wow.
So I'm kicking him out. Get out. You're 18. Go get a job. You know, we're done. So at the end of my journey as a parent, you know, it's like, oh, I feel like I can kind of. So I'm part of me is just I have things to say about that, and the way I parent is not the way Bruce parents. You know, there's a moment in issue 6 where Bruce kind of fucks up and like doesn't handle it well in the moment as he handles the moment as Batman and not as Bruce, not as his father. And like, it's also interesting to give Batman a thing he's not the best at. Whether you go for Team Batgod or not, like I buy 100% parenting is brand new to him. It was thrown at him out of nowhere and he's learning as he goes, and he's got all this, you know, like I'm fine with there being a learning curve there. So like I yes, big plans and thoughts, and I think Damian is a really fun character that keeps him on his toes in incredible ways.
I don't know how much you've talked to Wade or Philip Johnson.
Wade, man,
I know. Fuck that guy.
It's a lot of this.
Fuck that guy.
A lot of this.
Absolutely. But truly, and it's funny because it's been a month or so since I've talked to Mark. I talked to Philip Kennedy Johnson last night.
Oh, the best. And his book with Bruce and Damian is fucking fantastic, and the stuff he's got coming is great.
And truly, man, is there any little notes of, hey, I'm thinking of doing X?
Yeah. But it's all, but like, yeah. But so I'm on the record of saying this, and I'll say it till the day I die. I think I'm a better X-Men reader and a better X-Men fan than I was ever an X-Men writer. But the best lesson I learned from my time in the X office, aside from don't write X-Men, Matt, is like when it came on the sort of the editorial dictate and mandate was like every book had an identity, like a kind of genre identity. You know, Uncanny was Mothership, was X-Men Central, right? And X-Force was Black Ops, Hard Action. Cable was Lone Wolf and Cub. And every book had its own kind of flavor. It wasn't just, and this is the one with the guys who wear blue, right? And this is the one with the guys who wear gold or whatever. Like everything had its own, and it really made that time, I think special, when it wasn't just like what X-Men, this is the one about the kids, this is the one about the teens, right? Everything had a different flavor and color and tone. And so like I've talked to Rob Levin, the Bat editor, about that a lot. And there's a Bat Slack with everybody in it. And I mean, it could be like I had kind of not like a sort of a life change for Damian, not like, but like a thing that I like ran by him. Hey, Phil, does this track for you? But then, or it could be some little. He asked the other day, like, oh, can he get a new bike? I want to do this motor. It's like, I'm like, yeah, fuck, he's bad. All the gadgets, yes, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, just it's all kinds of little, just back and forth with that stuff with everybody. They're trying to make the line cohere. You know, it's. I got obsessed with the map of Gotham. That was part of it. Like, where do all these people live? You know, and I was literally building the map based on some old piece of art that someone somewhere did for one of those books, and like adding, I taught myself Illustrator a little bit to be able to put shit on, and I could just figure out where all the territories are and how it works. I just, you know, making that world real and alive is part of the appeal of the gig to me, you know.
Where is Bruce operating? Because I know Tynan during his run, you know, Bruce isn't a billionaire anymore. He's a millionaire, sort of, kind of.
As a very, very multi-millionaire guy. Yeah, no, he's in a place called Pennyworth Manor, which is kind of in the northwest of Gotham, but it's a different hood, right? It's a different. It's nice, but like Bruce has neighbors, right? He doesn't have a cave anymore. He's got a garage.
Hi, Mrs. Johnson. Hi, Bruce. How are you?
Cool. Yeah, no, you know what I mean. Like you're on an estate that goes on forever. That's great.
Right.
There's a neighbor. There's a house right over there, but that's part of it too. Is like, okay, so he doesn't have a cave anymore. Oh, interesting. You know,
Matt, I was going to ask absolutely, because that was and again, I feel okay given that it's a Wednesday night.
Yeah,
and that, you know, so that we could talk a little bit more
spoilers.
About one. Yeah, but I mean, really, like the connection of Croc and Batman with the dinosaur. You know, I used to have one of these in my house too.
Yeah,
and also that beautiful moment where Croc gives him the little dinosaur. And shit.
But then he starts the trophies over in his garage on the shelf. He puts the little toy dinosaur on the shelf, and it's like, that's the new trophy room. It starts right there, and like I'm consciously gonna be putting shit on that shelf.
Wow,
as we go, just little things here and there.
Interesting.
You know, because he misses his big penny.
Of course he did. One of my favorite Devin Grayson stories in I forget which book, and it was the one shot where after the cataclysm and everything, the penny is stuck in some fissure in the cave, and it's underwater, and he calls Aquaman. And at first he like calls the whole Bat family because he's lonely, and he's just checking in with everybody, and he keeps bugging Oracle. Yeah. And she's like, well, maybe we should check this area. Everything's clear, boss. Maybe you should do this. And finally, Dick comes on screen. Maybe you should leave us alone. And it's like, oh, I'm sorry. Never mind. And Aquaman at the end, he helps with the penny. He's like, Bruce, you know, if you just wanted to hang out, you could have just called me, man. You know, it was just so casual. And truly, that's what I loved about your issue, man. Because, and also to go to the length of Bruce unmasking himself while he's talking to Croc and really trying to get to the guy that's buried in Croc. And himself, very nice meta dialogue and everything.
This is a perfect example of what I mean by there not being any new stories. Like I've been asked a lot, like, what are your favorites? So I've been really trying to put together like concrete lists, you know, like, because that's a kind of, I don't tend to think that taxonomy in a taxonomy like that, you know, it's a very little kid thing, right? Who's your favorite dinosaur? What's your favorite color? What's your favorite food? What is your favorite? You know, gets how kids kind of relate to one another. It's like, what is your favorite? What are the three best things or whatever? But there was a really great issue of Legends of the Dark Knight that Rucka did with Rick Burchett with, it was called Falling Back. It was about Batman and Jim kind of not getting along, and Jim feeling like you've lied to me and you've kept secrets and I don't trust you and I think you've been using me, and other cops laugh at me because I'm the cop that needs a mass vigilante to solve crimes, and like, have you been using me? And Bruce is like, we're partners, and at the end he's like, the only thing he can do, like all I can give you is my word and this, and like he fucking unmasks, and Jim immediately like turns around and is like, nope, put it back. Okay, I get it. He's like, no, but this is it. This is how much I trust you. This is how much you're my partner. And Jim won't turn around until he puts the thing back on. I'm like, no, I didn't. That's already been done. I was like, oh shit. And it says, of course, like, yeah, no, it's all been done, and it's all been done great. So it was nice, and also just that thought of like, in our issue, is it going to come back and bite him in the ass? I don't know. Like,
By
But it
Jim
was
and
a
the
chance
Ass.
he was willing. Yeah, it was a chance. It was a thing he was willing to do. A chance he was willing to take.
I see. I
You
see.
know,
Yeah.
and is Croc gonna remember? Is he a kid? Is he gonna evolve out of this, or is he in a fugue state right now? Like, I don't know. And I'm saying, as the writer, I don't know, but I believed in the moment. Batman had the choice of, like, I can pump 500,000 volts through your body and cause lasting damage, or let's see what's going on here.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you look like a scared, hungry kid, you know,
Well,
who
and
just
again,
thinks dinosaurs are cool.
well, again, and I'm glad you give your example of that great Rucka story and everything, because it also your story had a slight echo of that first issue of The Dark Knight Returns, when Harvey seemingly is cured and has the perfect face,
Yeah.
and you know, and it's a Bruce and Harvey conversation.
Yeah.
And you know, he gets as real as he can while keeping the mask on with Harvey. And Harvey's like, hey, guess what? Yeah, both sides match now, but not the way you think.
Yeah.
And it's like, and he says, I see a reflection, Harvey.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm damaged too. And it's, that's the thing, Matt, tonally. And that's what you do. You know, you obviously recognize these moments. And I assume maybe we'll get a great Jim and Bruce moment, I'm sure, in your run. And certainly now the position.
Oh, wait do you see the new bat signal?
Oh, fantastic. By the way,
how do you have a bat signal when you don't run the police anymore?
Yes. And where's it coming from? And yeah, I'm hip. I think that's great, Matt. But also, I love your nods to the tech and your.
Yeah. That's very like Batman 316 was the first comic I ever read. It was Len Wayne, Irv Novick.
Oh, and Irv. Oh, great.
Yeah, it's a fucking crazy quilt. It is not by any measure spectacular or particularly memorable issue of a comic, but I loved it, and it hooked me for life, not just to Batman, but to comics, right? And there's what am I trying to say? I don't know. If I guess if I could go back and tell 3-year-old me that today was going to happen, you know, I guess that's kind of ultimately the punchline. But that you know, so Chip told me he was leaving, and I had left Monarch, and it was sort of at the same time.
Interesting.
Where we were both like asking each other, well, what's next, you know? And he was like, you know, I think I'm leaving Batman, and I think, you know, I think that sort of Chip is an editor in some part of him. So he's a production manager. It's the newspaper man in him, you know. And I think he didn't want to leave DC in the lurch. So he asked me, do you want to talk to them about it? And I was like, let me think about it for a weekend, and came back, was like, yeah, okay. Let me. And so I think as part of him leaving, he was like, but here's my what's not contingency plan, succession, right? I think he wanted to give them a plan. Like, I don't want you guys to have to scramble. Not like it would be hard to find someone to write Batman, but so I had never met Marie Javins before. We had talked by email a couple of times. I had never met Rob Levin before, and he had kind of just come back to DC, and we got on a Zoom, and they said, do you have any thoughts about Batman? And it turns out I do, because I've been thinking about it since I was 3. And now I've fooled them into paying me to do it, you know? So it's like, it's all research. All that stuff is research.
Well, before we get back to the new stuff, mentioning Len Wein, how many of ever meet Denny O'Neil? Ever meet, you know, talk to Len?
Dude, I did meet Denny, but more importantly than before I met him, the late lamented and beloved Tom Spurgeon, when he was at the Comics Journal,
Yeah.
put me and Denny on a phone together, and I interviewed him for Comics Journal 300.
Oh, that's great.
It was supposed to be like 45 minutes, and we talked for 3 hours.
I've had that experience, Matt. I totally understand.
But
Yeah.
we were, I was still in Missouri at the time, and so I was honored to be like talking to the Missouri Revelator himself, and like, and Denny was, God, everything I wanted him to be. It was so fantastic, but also like as a sober person, and I felt such a tremendous debt to him in Iron Man, and like knowing how hard he had to fight to get that in there, and like how weak it was. The first time Tony Stark confronts alcoholism, he stares out of a window at night, all night, and then in the morning he's better. And I know that had to have been a knockdown, drag out, tooth and nail fight with Jim Shooter. He was able to come back to it later and sort of give it a little more, a gravitas. But like I was, part of my take on Tony Stark, I was writing it as a sober person, somebody who had those struggles and knew the difference between being clean and being sober, right? Like being a dry drunk is its own kind of thing. And
yeah,
so we just had a lot of connections that weren't me being a fan of his work, and just got on like a house on fire. And afterwards, like I was super apologetic to Tom, and Tom was like that was great. Like, that was like, I could have stopped it. I knew what time it was. Like, you guys were just going, like it was. And so yeah. And Denny's work is so incredible, both as a writer and as an editor.
Hell yeah.
The people Denny worked with, and that era, that kind of pre-crisis, I mean post-crisis as well, but like the real formative stuff for me as a kid was all that pre-crisis stuff. That was where the gadgets came from. I loved that shit when I was a kid. I love bat shark repellent. Absolutely. Batman's got gadgets. He's got it's a goddamn utility belt. Let me see the utilities, man.
Yep.
The tech call outs were all about like, how can we get to bat shark repellent without having to Silver Age style label everything in 16-point font, in the Batcave. And like Jorge came up with this idea of the tech wheel. It's like a weapon wheel in a video game, right? It uses that kind of modern visual grammar, and it's not intrusive, and it kind of lets me drop in fun little bits and like, yeah, my Batman's a guy with gadgets, not tech. It's different, right? There's tech, sure, but it's more gadgets. It's more clever stuff, and I just, it's great. Like, I love using it.
Tell me about Jorge. Was that your choice from the start?
It would have been, but no, it was. I mean, really,
did Rob put you guys together?
We love and adore him for great reason. He's incredible. He's reliable. He's gifted. He's kind. He's nowhere near the top of his ability. He's like LeBron in season 3. Like, he's not even LeBron yet. You think he's like, you're going to remember this. You're going to remember this. It's easier just to say it's Jordan and Pippen, but it's not. But the night of Jordan's highest scoring game, one of the other Bulls just made 2. And after the game, someone asked him, "What are you going to remember about tonight? Like seeing Michael? What tonight? It was the biggest single scoring. What are you going to remember? Like Michael Jordan scored like 64 points that night. He was like, "Oh, it's the night me and Michael Jordan scored 66." I
do remember that.
So I feel like that being with Jorge. Yeah. Oh man, it's the night me and Jorge number 1. But no, it was. I think part of the relaunch was really about how much they love him and wanting to give Jorge this platform and like really announce him and anoint him as like, he's a star. There's no other word for it. And he's fucking handsome. Oh my God. It's infuriating. Like, you're kind and you're talented and you look like that too. Like, dude, you eat cats or something. There's something not right. But he's a dream. He's fantastic. And I just, as his fan, like, wanted to write the book I wished he would draw. It's like I have pages in a notebook of just I just like, what would it be cool to see Jorge draw? I don't know where it's going to land. Maybe it'll never land anywhere. But if I gotta, okay, here comes a fight scene. What can we do? Like, oh, this would be cool. Ninjas on motorcycles with swords. Great. I can't wait to, and issue 5, check it out.
Very cool. The
Gotham City has a ninja problem.
Someone earlier had mentioned, is it here? Yeah, Michael. Michael said, Matt, thanks for all the great comics over the years. Casanova and Last of the Independents are 2 of my favorites. Looking forward to Batman. Reminded me of the back matter.
Oh,
they
yeah.
used to put in Casanova with the brothers and everything. Would there be room for back matter during this run?
I don't know. Probably not.
Okay.
And my urge would be to do like I keep joking about it in really public platforms, but I want to convince DC to put out a map, the map that I'm doing, but like a transit map, like the MTA or CTA unfolding map of Gotham with all this stuff.
Yeah.
And like, did you ever see the Welcome to Fear City thing from New York in the 70s?
No, tell me.
It was like propaganda where the cops were threatening to strike, and part of it was they made this faux warning pamphlet up to scare tourists.
Wow.
And it was
crazy.
Like,
yeah.
89% of women will be robbed and sexually assaulted in New York City every day. So it's this drawing of the Grim Reaper. It says, "Welcome to Fear City." But like, so to kind of take like some kind of piece of civic, I would want to fill it with that shit. I would want to fill it with like, not like data pages, like, Krakoa kind of stuff, but like Gotham City Tourist Board. It would be more like what Rucka is doing in Lazarus, with all like the fake ads and all that kind of stuff. I want to do like in-world, like that's something that it occurred to me kind of being new at DC, and not kind of like being very new at DC. At this point, I've written 13 comics for DC,
Right.
But,
12 of Jimmy. Absolutely.
Yeah. And a handful of short stories. So like not a tenured writer by any chance at DC, but like one of the big differences is like Marvel happens in New York. DC happens in Metropolis and Gotham and Keystone and Coast and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
And it's that old like writer's room saw. It's like some writer somewhere was floundering in a pitch to some network executives once upon a time. I'm convinced of it, and desperately trying to save them said, in a way, the city is a character. And all the network people went, "Oh," and leaned forward, and the pitch sold. But like at DC, it's true, right?
Absolutely.
Like it's not New York. Like I love that about New York, but also like I knew Hell's Kitchen didn't look like that.
Yep.
So in Gotham, it can be whatever we want. So we just have to make it and put that stake down,
And in fact, your Gotham looks certainly very modern, and there's some great splash pages of not the usual, New York's Chicago influence of an older city.
It doesn't even look like Chicago. It looks like Gary with Chicago in the background, right? I'm over a Gotham City that demands a tetanus shot when you walk outside. I'm tired of Gotham looking like a wet factory that produces sparks. Everything's the color of a dying avocado.
Anton Furst's kind of designs for Tim Burton's movie.
Yeah, they're incredible, right? Like the Anton Furst is incredible, but like it just now like the whole it just like as cool as those Batman games are, like everything's all rusty and fucking gross and like why do people live here? Right? Like why do people live in Gotham? Like where you live? Oh, I'm on abandoned chemical factory row. Where are you? I live next door to the giant replica prop manufacturers and that burning hospital. Like so that was in my mind of like wanting to make Gotham a character. I understand why people live there. And I spent a lot of time in Tokyo, right? And
yes, you did, indeed. Go on.
And I spent a lot of time at night in Tokyo. We shot like 3 days during the day, and then like 10 days at night. And like you can read on the street at night anywhere. It's a quiet, even the residential little back alleys and shit. We shot in a place called Piss Alley. Did I tell you about Piss Alley?
You did, but please continue.
But
Absolutely, for the new audience.
The quality of light is there, like in Barcelona or Manhattan. There's a gorgeousness to cities at night with kind of LED high wattage color that like there are colors at night now that we didn't used to see because because we don't have copper filament bulbs burning everywhere. And like I wanted to make a Gotham that was beautiful, and not beautiful as like a portrait of decay, not like a disaster porn, but like, no, I understand why somebody would live here. This is like, it should feel like Barcelona and Paris and Tokyo, and every neighborhood is different, and like you should understand why anyone would live there. You should understand that someone can have a great day in Gotham, and it's not just because they robbed a bank or didn't get murdered. Like, there's beauty there. There should be something, even in the brutalist sections. There it's not all brutalist.
I get you. James wants to know, and I get it because it's a nod to your Jimmy run with Steve Lieber. Any chance of Batman meeting his match again? I think Jimmy needs to be taken down a peg again. Would you cross into any of the fun shit you put in Jimmy Olsen at, or a different story? Obviously,
I think tonally it wouldn't fit. Although I do kind of want. I think Jimmy will show up at some point for certain.
Cool.
And it's interesting because it feels like a chance to kind of offer, when I wrote Jimmy, I was on Team Jimmy, but now I write Batman, I'm on Team Batman. So
sure.
Like if that was through Jimmy's perspective, like could I convince Clayton to make Jimmy's lettering Comic Sans?
Interesting.
Like what's the visual equivalent of Batman hearing somebody be like that would, like, what would he, like what is he like through Batman? When it's Batman's book, how does Jimmy Olsen come off?
I love that. That's fantastic. Oh my
so yeah,
God.
I have yeah. There's Jimmy. Yes, not in the first. It's not right away, but yeah. No, we'll get there. We'll get. Hopefully by the end of the first year. I think by the end of the first year, start at the top of second.
Typhon. You tell me, Matt. Of Rivia.
Uh-huh.
Hey, Matt, love your Hawkeye run. Was wondering if the idea of each issue being self-contained, where it came from. Very different from ongoing series these days.
Yeah, and it's I'm doing the same kind of approach with Batman. They're all made to be that. Where did it come from? A few different places. One, I am shocked by how expensive comic books are. And I have tremendous guilt about it. So I don't want anyone to be able to read a comic. Like I don't want it to be a thing you can read in 3.5 minutes. Right.
Sure. Yes.
I want it. And so there's a consciousness about the length of what of just the cost. Like I want there to be a return on your investment, right? Like just as a reader, I don't want to feel like this was nothing, right? This could have been an email. So there's that. When I started Hawkeye, I could just come off of like X-Men and Iron Man, and those were written very differently. Those were, there were 3 or 4 or 5 different plot lines, and we check in with a scene from each kind of as we went, and it wasn't really self-contained. So part of it was just a reaction to like, I want to write differently than I'd been writing. And then just because I'm obdurate and difficult, it's hard. It's really hard. Like it's harder to write a self-contained issue and give a thing a satisfying beginning, middle, and end, and push all the plot pieces along, but in a way that doesn't feel like you're cutting to plot line B, plot line C, plot line D, like it's really hard. It's a challenge. And I hate and don't know how to do things the easy way. this is another one of those examples. And so yeah, so I and again back to the 100 issues of Tom King, like, oh yeah, if I'm gonna get to all this stuff, like I gotta get to it. Like I don't have time to do an 8-part story. Like, no way, man. I gotta. What's Dr. Phosphorus doing? I don't know. I gotta get Dr. Shit. I gotta do Dr. Phosphorus. Oh my god. What am I doing? It's a board meeting. I don't give a shit. Yeah.
That's awesome.
And also just like it's an all killer, no filler sort of mentality, you know? And like I don't do the narration anymore. Like I'm way more satisfied not living in Batman's head and hearing what he's thinking. Like also a challenge, because it's way easier for Batman to be like, oh, he's going to do X, Y, and Z and yada yada, and I figured this out because so and so or whatever. Like, no, I'm going to have him reveal his character through action, you know. And maybe we don't know why. Why did he fucking take his mask off in front of Killer Croc? It's insane. Like, you, the reader, get to fill in those blanks, right?
Okay.
I don't even know that I didn't expect that to happen when I was writing it, and I was breaking it out and sort of noodling it, and sort of, I knew what the story was, but like I thought there was going to be a fight there, and that exchange was going to be at the end over like exhausted, bloody, pummeled people, and like it's a Batman #1. Maybe you want to do the fight with Killer Croc, right? Like, no, shit, I'm going to take a swing and see what happens, right? But it kind of came out in the moment, because I wasn't living in his head and I wasn't prescribing everything. It was just in that moment, I felt like what he would do is like, let's see if let's see if Alfred's right. And what Alfred said, I think, gets to him, and let's see what happens, right? He's gettable. He's not, I think a good leader, I think the way you become tactically brilliant is you adapt to new data. And you can hear things from subordinates that maybe you're not thrilled with. And it's never about ego. It's about the right solution, and not like, well, it wasn't my idea, so I'm not doing it. But like, shit, your idea is better. Let's do it. You know, like that's how you get to be Batman, is like your willing and never ending willingness to learn, you know?
Has Batman, because of his recent failures and the times the family has, if not turned against him, not have been afraid to gut in his face and go, you're doing it wrong, and that's why we're mad at you or whatever. Do you think your Batman at this point is reacting to those lessons and trying to be more receptive?
Yeah, I would that feels like a way that I can honor the work and all the different runs that have come before without getting explicitly about the continuity. But like, we're in a moment where they're all learning, right? And him more than others, and it's also just like it's that bad Superman writer complaint of like, he's too powerful. Like, yeah, the easiest thing in the world to hurt Superman. Like that's he's not too powerful anyway. You know, it was a scene I wanted to write in and I never found the place for it, but I wanted to cut into like Lex doing something, talking to somebody, I don't remember about what, or like because I couldn't find it, but he was gonna like kill a fly. He was gonna make his point to somebody of like, it's really anyone can hurt Superman. Watch, and he smashes a fly, and then just says, "That was because of you. I could have caught it in my hand and taken it over the window and let it fly away, but I wanted you to hear it fucking suffer. Wanted you to hear its eyes bursting, and I wanted you to hear its scream, and now I'm fucking wiping it off, and I'm going on with my day, and you're sad because I murdered a fly. I win again." Like, there's that cruel, you know, like that's it. So you know, making Batman the guy who knows everything and is always 5 steps ahead, like that's not really Batman, right?
I'm hip. I get it. Absolutely.
You know, maybe that's my failure of vision as a writer. I don't know. But.
I'm glad Tim Drake is playing a big role, at least in these early issues, because again, talking to Philip and Mark, it's like, yeah, where is Tim in the family right now? And you know, when you have 3 or 4 Robins running around and everything,
goddamn Robins, you guys.
Yeah, how many? You know, what's that? What is
that? It was literally a book called Robins, plural. Like,
oh, I know. Yeah, Seeley, I believe.
Yeah. There's a lot of Robins.
Yeah.
I love Tim. I think Tim's great. I have a got big plans for him. So, and I think he's.
Yeah.
I'm working on it. Hang
Yeah,
on. Let me
yeah.
find. I think he's at the. I think he's at an inflection point.
Okay.
And I want to, and I think I see a way that I think I can again honor everything he's been through, and kind of synthesize it and turn it into a really cool Tim Drake story that fits in with everything else. So I got a thing, and I don't know, maybe people like it, maybe people hate it, but it comes from looking at things not as a fan but as a writer, and sort of like what's the unexpected thing that absolutely has to happen, and why, and
Readers like comfort, Matt, but it is the writer's job to provoke surprises and shocks to us that may initially hurt us because we don't want our favorite characters to be hurt.
No,
but,
yeah. No,
but that's a good.
this isn't even that. It's
Okay, all right.
it's that thing of like I love him too. I got a plan,
Yeah.
and it's and I think it's cool, and also 1,036 consecutive months. I'm not gonna break this stuff. Like, if it sucks, someone else will come in and fix it. Don't worry.
Okay. Yeah.
Like find a. You won't even remember me. I'll be like a fart in the wind. It's gone. Then something momentarily unpleasant, and then there's there's a dog. No. So, but no, I want to like, how do you not just keep repeating that thing, and just doing the same beat over and over again, and what's new and what's unexpected and what's cool and what gives a story, what pushes everything forward in a cool new way. So.
Salsa Shark, I appreciate this shout out. Salsa says, just wanted to compliment you on November because it doesn't get mentioned enough. Yeah, dude, and thank you for making us more aware of Elsa Chartier's wonderful work.
Yeah, no, it's a great time to launch a 4-volume graphic novella series, A Pandemic. It's the best. I recommend it to anyone. Take a bold format story swing, the boldest of your career, in a format almost guaranteed never to break even. It's great.
Let's see here as I go through the list of questions. Timur says, loved your new take on Killer Croc. Reminded me of what James Gunn has done with animal villains like King Shark and Weasel. Curious what inspired the new take on Killer Croc.
He was a perfect metaphor for the first issue, and for the idea of a first issue of a volume 4. It was a perfect, like, we're shedding our skin, we have the same shape but we're a little bit different. Like, it was a perfect operating metaphor. He's a classic character, and I wanted to see Jorge draw and what it looks like. I wanted to kind of build off of the amazing work that Willow's done, and it felt like the right. It could have been anybody, and once upon a time it was. And this is how crazy ahead I am. I wrote issue 1, I wrote issue 2, I wrote issue 3. I threw out issue 1 and wrote a new one entirely, because I had it figured out better,
Okay.
But that's what happens when you're crazy ahead, is you have that like luxury, because I found a better metaphor in Croc than the one I went with. And I'll get back to that other story. But it wasn't right for the first issue. So, but
There
Croc was like, oh yeah, that's the story. That's the way to go.
I loved Jorge's design, because even with those kind of protruding teeth, was even more of a physical threat than I've seen him portrayed before.
Yeah.
Salsa Shark wants to know if DC offered you the opportunity to write for the Absolute line. What do you think of the Absolute line, Matt?
It's. I've said this to Scott's face in several times, and I'm pleased to say it in public. Like, if anyone in the world should be done with Batman stories, it's him. And then he found this whole other vein, and that he's mining, and like great, just go, like fuck, great, awesome. It's great. It's crazy. It's surprising. I think Dennis Camp is having a breakout kind of go home with 4 Eisners year. Absolute Martian Manhunter 1 made me furious.
It is really brilliant.
I wrote him back like, Martian Vision, fuck you for thinking of that before. Fuck, oh, it made me feel old. I don't like that. Dennis, no, it's terrific. Alex doing great work. It's great. It's and like anytime you can tell stories about these characters in new ways that are surprising, but are still those characters. Like that's the punchline. That's the ultimate lesson. It's like what if stories. The punchline of a what if stories. They're always going to be that hero. The circumstances ultimately don't matter, right? And like, still Batman, still Superman, still Wonder Woman. Just everything except everything's different. It's just a lot of fun.
Would that opportunity intrigue you when the line was announced? Did any are like, oh, you know something? If I had Plastic Man or Animal Man or some other or a woman, have those kind of alternate takes?
I mean, if I had been, I don't know. I don't. Who can say? It had gotten underway with. I was not asked or a part of those discussions or anything like that, but also I was in TV Town at the time, so like I wasn't really returning calls, you know.
Sure.
So I don't mean to be like, no one asked me. I'm not. I wasn't. You know, I didn't win the lottery today. I also didn't buy a lottery ticket. I'm not complaining. It's been great. It's been cool. It's been amazing. And I don't know. I would think about it, but I don't know.
Okay. And mentioning TV Town, and believe me, I know it's a rough time right now in general in Hollywood, and I'm hearing our friends who are screenwriters with established credits even having their challenges in terms of new projects. You stepped away from am I right that you stepped away from
Yeah.
Was the opportunity there for you to continue if you wanted to?
Oh yeah. No, I'd been in the season 2 writers' room and we had just about wrapped. I think they kept it going after I left for a little, maybe another month or something like that, maybe 6 weeks. But no, it just sort of like it was time to move on. You know, It was awesome. It was cool. It was amazing. Chris Black and I are now like fucking. Like we served in a combat unit or something. Like,
hell yes,
we're bonded for life. Like
yes,
co-creator of that show, and like I learned a lot. I learned a ton, but you know, I just got to a point where I realized like I'd learned what I was going to learn, and I was kind of officially in the wrong band. You know, but season 2 was shot. And I think if it hasn't wrapped, like it's all happening. It's coming. Awesome things are coming and very surprising things are coming, but you know, and also too, like my kid's going to go to college in a year, and they shot in Australia, and it's like I don't want to be halfway around the world for 25% of the last 2 years of my son's time as the kid that lives in my house, you know.
I get it.
So it was right personally, it was right professionally, and you know, I spent a week terrified I'd ended my career, and then Batman started the next week. So it was, oh my God, what am I going to do? Oh, Batman. And it's been joyous.
Beautiful. This is interesting. Justin wants to know if you're, first of all, you loved the first issue of Batman. Do you know if your Iron Man run will get a new omnibus? One of the best runs. I completely agree.
Thank you, Justin. That's very kind. I don't know. Although I've gotten a couple of comps. Like they've been collecting it in those big Epic collection trades lately. So I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. I find out when it shows up in a solicitation somewhere. So I've not heard, but it seems like they're reprinting it all. So that's cool. That's nice.
Mark says, I read issue 1, found myself pleasantly taken back to having a Batman that actually felt his age, and his actions across the line of the issue are definitely a reflection of that. Could you pin a number on his age? Okay. Well, even generally, what demographic? 30s?
Sure.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. But you know, it's one of those things that like you point out that like, yeah, but like they're baseball players and it's baseball. You know, I'm to quote the great John Kruk, ma'am, I'm not a professional athlete. I play baseball. There are baseball players at 31 that have destroyed their knees and ankles and can no longer, like,
Yeah.
you point that out and they're like, yeah, but if he's not 30, then it's comics time. I don't know. He's a seasoned adult. I tried to pin that down a little bit, and then it all just got bonkers. So, like, okay, we're just cool.
All right, fair enough. KB512.
I loved your toy store.
Excited to read the new Batman. This will be my first Batman ongoing run. Will we see other Bat family characters like Nightwing? And how do you juggle all these characters in the Bat supporting cast?
That was a question I asked myself a lot, and the answer is, like, to me, I have two stars in this book. The two main characters are Batman and Bruce Wayne. It's there are so many characters. The family is so large and such a thing that it feels like an ensemble book sometimes. And that's great. That's awesome. But that wasn't the Batman I wanted to do, mostly because I've written those team books. Look, I was the guy with the big fucking idea to move all the X-Men into one place. Like it's really hard servicing all of those characters in a sustained, meaningful way, and it's hard to do well. It's hard for me to do well. More to the point is really what I'm saying. So I mean, they're around, and I think they all are worthy of getting spotlights. But in Batman going forward, like everybody are moons. Bruce and Batman are Jupiter, and everybody else are moons. And sometimes you see them, but their story should breathe in other places. And Lord knows there are enough books to sustain it. But I want Batman to be Batman. It's the book where you go for Batman and Bruce, and that's the thing. And so they're awesome, and I love them, and I'll use them when we have time, and they certainly will appear. But it's not gonna, the sort of Papa Bear. It was one of my favorite scenes in Chip's book, where everybody was like it was everybody under one roof eating, and then Bruce had the sudden vision of everyone burning alive.
Yes.
But it was like, oh yeah, you know what? That's a lot of characters to, just the time it would take to text them all. It's 45 minutes. You're not stopping somebody from knocking over a bank, or they're not going to all. They leave them on red. Like, they're not going to. Yeah, it's bad news. So I've got some specific plans for some of them, but I'm doing what I can to queue everybody up elsewhere in the Bat world, and then sort of in books that don't even exist yet. To like, here, this is a time. I know Nightwing's got his whole. Well, he's got a great year coming up, and there's a new Red Hood book with Red Hood and Huntress that's going to happen. So like they're going to find their places elsewhere, but elsewhere is kind of where I need them to be for the time being.
What about Clark?
Nothing on the immediate horizon. But 100 issues is a lot. We'll figure it out. I'll have to go somewhat. It's going to get hard in those 60s, man. I'm like, oh god, I guess we'll figure it out. It's always
in the back pocket. Absolutely, man. No.
Like at this point, it's just sort of like it's like I feel like a dog that's in a new house, and there's just all these corners to sniff out, and like, what's over here? What's under this? Like before I start looking at the neighbor's yard, like, let me get a sense of this territory.
Sure.
I'm working through. I'm closing in on the end of the first year of the book, and I haven't even gotten to all the most basic. I feel like I'm still scrambling if I'm going to try and. There's so much. It's such a big world. Is
Jim's beat partner a creation of yours, and will we
see
more?
Yeah. I like the idea of Jim having a
rookie.
A rookie, with a rookie and the world's oldest man together in a cop car. Let's see what happens.
It reminds me of that. I'll let you sip. It reminds me of that great TV show from the early '70s, and I'm assuming way before your time, The Blue Knight, with George Kennedy.
Wow.
I love you, man.
Who is the partner? Who was the partner?
I don't remember. I'd have to look. Or even more or at least more memorable, slightly, Streets of San Francisco with Carl Malden and Michael Douglas. Oh, that boy, Matt. Matt's gonna grab the DVD for the audio audience.
My friend, no, even better.
Oh,
my friend Mariko Tamaki, the brilliant writer, Eisner Award-winning writer, spectacular human being, Mariko Tamaki, bought herself a blazer in a secondhand shop, a thrift shop of some sort in San Francisco. This was attached inside. She bought a piece of Carl Malden's wardrobe from Streets of San Francisco, just thinking it was a nice blazer. And I was so taken by it. She was like, do you want the jacket or do you want the tag? I'm like, I want the tag. Fuck the jacket.
That's awesome.
So I have this little piece of Carl Malden.
That's beautiful, Matt. Excellent. You see, again, this is
I'm breathing Carl Malden particulates as we speak.
Don't carry cash. Carry these. Yeah. American Express. Come on, man.
It was fun. I like the Jim Gordon is putting the G in GCPD now stands for geriatric, so it's cool.
Matt, as a now 60-year-old, ageism is the last discriminatory group that nobody has a problem with going, yeah, you're too old. Okay.
Yeah, no, but it's because you're leeches on resources the rest of us eat.
Zar Luna. Oh, here's a good. I'm sure you only have a 5-word answer to this question, Matt. Hey, Matt, what's your creative process for writing comics?
It changes with every single one. You remember I said I don't know how to do things the easy way, and I'm difficult and obdurate. Like, it is a different process for every single one. It starts with whatever that innate kind of ineffable sense of there's a meal here, like whatever the thing is that compels me, that like, this isn't idle, this is a real thing. I could do this, like whatever that is. It starts with that, and it starts with my collaborator, whoever they are, and the most important part of the process is learning how to write for my collaborators. They're all different, there's no, I don't think it's like sheet music, where no, you're a machine, repeat these notes or whatever, right? Like they're gonna all bring their own things, and that's what the conductor is for. And like I'm telling, like it's to communicate beyond the stuff on the page. So like there's this learning how to communicate expressly. Like when I teach a class, every time I teach like comics writing classes or lectures or whatever, I love to show these 2 opening panels. One is the first panel from the first page of From Hell, which is a shot kind of past a dead gull in the surf on a beach, and there are 2 guys in the background. And the other one is from a Punisher comic that Garth Ennis did, and it's a similar shot angling down a beach, and there's 2 guys in the distance. And I have the scripts for both of those issues. So I have the scripts that produced that work, and Garth's is about a sentence long, Brighton, maybe Sheepshead Bay, and like it's night, and there's, the surf's coming in and it's dark, but down the way we see these 2 geezers coming towards us, lumbering in the dark or whatever. And Alan Moore's opening panel description for the first panel on the first page of From Hell is literally 3.5 pages long. And it produces really similar images. What's the right way? And like, even Eddie Campbell and like his autobiographical stuff, when he gets to the period where he's doing From Hell, he shows the scripts as like just this, as a panel of just a block of text. And like his assistant would go through and highlight, the fog presses its back against the damp cobblestones of Whitechapel as the prostitute lingers beneath the flickering gas, blah, 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 blah. And like his assistant would cross out everything but night, cobblestone, prostitute, gas lamp. Just because the manuscripts were so huge, what do I have to fucking draw here?
Sure.
So all of which is saying there's a million different ways to write comics, but I think there's then also how you would write for Steve Dillon is not how you would necessarily write for Eddie Campbell, and why you would produce a 3.5-page manuscript for a single panel description versus a sentence and a half, right?
I get it.
So it starts with that relationship and trying to figure out what I love about the artist that I'm working with, what I'm excited about, why I love their work, and what do I, as their fan, want to see, and sometimes I write like plot style, Marvel style scripts, right, that are more, broad, and they don't handle the paneling. It's just kind of, here are all the things that happen on the page, I think. And the dialogue is maybe something like this. And other times it's a very regimental kind of full script sort of deal. So that's a big process, and figuring it all out. And then just kind of chiseling away at it, I make, the metaphor I always use is like, John, if I was going to drive my car to see you, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to come see you. I'm getting in a car. I'm not going to use a map, and I'm not going to use GPS. If I drive for a few hours and a fucking Mountie is asking to see my papers, I went the wrong direction. Right?
Yeah.
But if in a couple of days it gets kind of hilly, deserty, badlandsy, I think I'm all right, cool. All right, we're going for that. If I run into a mariachi band, I went too far another direction. And in a couple of days, if I don't cross the Mississippi, something's off. Right? But I know there's this sequence of, there's the kind of Badlands, there's going to be the Mississippi, I'll look for signs for Midlothian and go north or whatever. That is like, I have that, and then kind of zoom in, and now I got to figure out how to get from here to the Badlands. Okay, so, and it kind of, but it's all faint, but I need to still be able to discover stuff as I go and be surprised, and I'm all that, but then also figure out a way to make it the most visual thing I can, and to serve my partners in these things, because I can think about it a lot and it can take me a while. It still doesn't take as long as it's going to take them to fucking draw it. So,
Amen. Yep.
It's messy and sloppy, and it's never the same way. And then every few years I got to blow everything up and start over again anyway. So.
Do you challenge yourself that way, Matt? I mean, like you said, you're doing it to direct to your artist, but okay.
Somebody told me once, it's like I fell onto a nail and hit it with my kneecap and drove the nail into the wood with my kneecap. And now that's just how I think nails go into things. Kinda, okay. Yeah. Like it's, I wish I could do things easy. I wish I could do things simply. I wish I could just write hits. I wish I could just write single line panel. I wish I could write panels 1 through 4. They fight. I don't know how to do that.
I'm hip. Yeah.
And it sucks. I could be way wealthier.
Before going back to more questions, I want to point people to a couple of great videos that I've caught that are connected to Matt. And forgive me, Matt, because it's been a couple of weeks and I've seen a million things. But the Helioscope Studio did a great breakdown of.
It was terrific, wasn't it?
Yeah, you and Lieber talking about it, and and it's a lot of fun. Everybody, I can't recommend it highly enough. And I love all the Helioscope people. I haven't been to the new studio. The last time I was there was 7 years ago at the old studio. And stuff.
Sure. Yeah, no, like that's Jim. That's a perfect example. No one in comics would resequence the entire 12 issues for a collection. Just reprint it. Not me. Wait a second. I need to think about how this works as a single volume and not 12 issues of comics. So that was a few days of work and a lot of math. And I fucking hate math.
But those truly, Matt, within each issue, those 6-page stories, and again, I got 10 or so years on you, but it's it really brought me back to that Silver Age thing with a modern twist, I just the whole tone of that series was just beautiful. So
the only thing missing is Ted Knight himself narrating it. What's this?
Meanwhile.
That's so good. Yours is better. Yours is way better.
Well, again, I've been working at it, man. My between Ted Baxter and Too Close for Comfort, Monroe, the great Jim J. Bullock.
Jim J.
Come on,
dude. I've been watching X-Files with my daughter this summer.
Fantastic.
It's been a dream. First off, let me tell you this. I haven't rewatched it sort of like since it ended. Dude had that shit figured out from episode 2. Like now, I don't know. Again, maybe he didn't know how he was going to get from here to Midlothian, but he knew aliens. We were in a deal with them. It's already happened. Cloning he was super soldiers. It is laid out, and if you know where it's going, when deep in the first the second episode, so not the pilot, right? But technically the first episode.
With the Deep Throat, when he has
Deep
the conversation with
is
Deep
walking
Throat?
with Mulder down a pier and literally lays out 5 years of conspiracy.
Yeah.
That, like, oh my God, he like that's amazing. Like, that's just as a piece of craft. Like it, don't like it. Did it work? Did it not work? Chris Carter picked his pitch and swung. Like, this is the story, right? So
Yeah.
that's been amazing. My daughter, in her infinite brilliance and wonderful taste, detected immediately that Darren Morgan writes the best episodes. Like the second Darren Morgan script, she was like, "This is just as good as that." I was like, "It's the same guy." She's like, "I love that guy." So that's a mess. But we just watched Floyd Bruckman's Final Repose, and then Jose Chung's From Outer Space with
Charles Nelson Riley.
Yes,
Charles Nelson Riley.
Nelson
and Raymond's dad. Shame on me.
Peter Boyle.
Peter Boyle, of course, is Clyde Bruckman is dead. Absolutely.
And in Clyde Bruckman, the bad guy is Stu Charney, and Stu Charney is in Friday the 13th 2.
Okay.
Which is notable for several reasons. Namely, primarily, it's the last of those movies where you like the kids. After Friday the 13th Part 2, all the kids are assholes, and you're fine seeing them killed because they're dicks. They're shitty little dicks. They're selfish, cruel, awful teenagers. But in 2, it's a charming group of kids, and he tells like a really gross joke, and like he's just a goofy. But it was like, God, who is that guy? It was driving me crazy. And they're like, it's the guy from Friday the 13th 2 who tells the Beethoven joke.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That's fantastic, man.
It was like what's brown and sticky and was left on Beethoven's piano bench. Beethoven's final movement.
Nice.
And he tells the joke like wholly aware. It was an improv kind of thing. It just like, but there's a charm in Friday the 13th Part 2 that I like. Anyway,
I'll take your word for it.
but getting to introduce my daughter to Charles Nelson Riley and like pulling up old clips and like sending her like just there's like 8-minute supercuts of Charles Nelson Riley on the Match Game. I'm like, this was his whole job. He was fucking outrageously gay and wonderful.
Indeed.
Primetime television for 20 years, making fun of people.
Big banana. Uncle Croc's crock block.
And and he's got the best he dies in the Millennium episode. There's a Jose Chung, and his last line is, "Don't you just adore his little mustache?" About Terry O'Quinn. It's like,
you know what I was going to ask?
Darren Morgan.
Will you get to Millennium and Usual Sus or the threesome?
If Lone Gunman can be found.
Lone Gunman, that's right. Thank you. Yeah.
I don't know if that could even be found. I had to dig for Millennium. It's not. Millennium is too dark for her.
I understand. It is.
It's too like she's not. She had to go through the Fluke Man episode like this the whole time.
Okay.
Like, she's not into X-Files for the gross, so she's not into the horror part of it. So I don't think Millennium would be her cup of tea.
Okay.
But yeah, just to introduce Charles Nelson Riley to a 15-year-old girl is really been delightful.
I just saw, because again, as you do too, we get down our YouTube rabbit holes, and I saw a Game Show Network documentary about Match Game, and narrated by Jamie Farr. Thank you. And yeah, it's great. And Charles had already passed, but Brett is on there. Brett Summers, Jack Klugman's ex-wife. And yeah, it's great. It really, and they got Gene Rayburn before he died to say some words and stuff. So the second time I did LSD, Yes.
I started like a tourist and then just immediately leapt to the heroic dose level.
Okay.
But I became convinced that I was going to invent what was called the Burt buckle, which was a belt buckle, but sort of a bas relief of Burt Convey's head that would kind of assemble together. And I think I laughed for about an hour and a half about the Burt buckle. Burt buckle. Oh, it's Burt Convey. And the two sides, they form the, man, it's like human nature, right? And it's a game, but it's not a game. And and it's like holding up your pants, but it's assembling it's so fucking funny. Anyway, don't do drugs, kids.
Well, and even sober, Matt, I would make you, if we were neighbors, sit with me and watch buzzer reruns of Tattletales and Burt Convey. I know you, Matt. This is why we're friends. Seriously, this is why I love you and Kel, because truly, you guys, as I tell you all the time, you guys are like my spiritual brothers and sisters. That because I have high school friends that we still will get together and watch. And also, man, Matt, there are so many great game shows on YouTube of old, like Joker's Wild and and Name That Tune. Name That Tune with Kathy Lee Gifford before she married Frank, and she's one of the singers on Name That Tune. Go ahead.
Man, I had mono the week that the Ice Cream Man ran Press Your Luck.
Okay.
Like, I watched that
yes
in real time because I was sick as shit. And like, it's a thing my mother and I have talked about ever since. And Paul Walter Hauser was just in a movie based on that story. I think it's called Press Your Luck. It was a sort of small film, but like there was like a documentary about it. Like it's been this, like it is like the only thing I'm more vexed by that I saw on television in my childhood was the Max Headroom interruptions.
GN, yes. Also on YouTube, everybody.
Yeah.
For people who don't know, the Press Your Luck story, this ice cream man figured out the pattern.
Realized that the Press Your Luck, there were 7 patterns the Press Your Luck lights blinked in, and if he could recognize the patterns, he could master any
and get the highest money for when he would hit those. No whammies.
Yeah, it was like discovering you could count cards without knowing you were counting cards. Only this guy totally knew he was counting cards.
Absolutely, Timur's already on the case.
No whammies.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But shit, I should talk to you about the Headroom thing because I bet you know some guys who know some guys.
Maybe, but I do remember. I mean, I certainly remember distinctly when it happened.
Yeah.
And a good buddy is rebooting Max. I hope it still happens. This was something that started before COVID, and I certainly hope it still does. Because man, that's just. I mean, this was a prank, everybody, that a guy pulled and was able to hack into WGN.
No one knows who, and no one knows how.
Nope.
He hacked into 2 different Chicago broadcast network signals.
Wearing the mask, wearing a
Max Headroom mask, talking through like a crazy vocoder, and
didn't he spank somebody with a fly swatter or something in one of the
videos? So that's the thing is like there's a cut, so it's a tape, like it's pre-taped.
Oh yeah,
because there's an edit, and it goes to some woman is spanking his bald butt. He's going, no. Your love is fading.
Insane.
Rich Swarsky, the world's greatest newspaper nerds. Oh, it's so disturbing. And oh, fuck. Oh, I have a shirt. I have it on a shirt.
Oh, that's fantastic. Of course. Yeah. That's easy.
I'll wear it next time I'm on. I'll wear my incident. Look up Max Headroom incident, everybody. You'll thank us later.
When it's on my channel, everybody. One time when me and Elsa were talking about November, we all had like ironic, you had to think about it t-shirts.
Sure.
And I think you had like directed by, and I forget which director. It was just a credit on yours. And Elsa had like an obscure Star Wars reference t-shirt. And I wore my American International pictures with that logo and stuff. And I was very proud of randomly, independently, all 3 of us put these like random t-shirts on. And I'm like, all right.
There's a really amazing young woman who makes movie inspired t-shirts, superyaki.com, YAKI, superyaki.com. But she made a shirt. I believe this was one of hers. It said music by John Carpenter. And it was the Halloween.
That's what
was it that one?
That's what you were wearing, Matt. Yep.
Yeah. I wore it. Kurt got a kick out of it. He was like, "Oh, John would love that." So I made sure to wear John Carpenter shirts around Kurt Russell to see if it got his attention. He was really amused by that one.
James wants to know any currently out of continuity DC characters that you'd like to see return. Pardon my burping.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Attaboy. Might we see them in the run?
No, maybe.
Okay.
No plans at the moment. Like I've already introduced new people, and I feel bad because I'm. There's always this thing of like, could this be a pre-existing character? And just to kind of establish the status quo over this kind of first year, and like, not really, because they would bring all this baggage with them, and you have to explain, well, how did this happen, and how did they do, and so and so and such and such. So I already feel bad that I've introduced new characters when I could have used all old ones, but also I'm being oblique. I don't want to spoil things, but like, sure, things are more fucked in Gotham than
they appear.
Vandal Savage just running the police. Like,
okay,
there's a real status quo shift kind of in invisible places that has escaped Batman's radar, because it wears the veneer of civility and lawfulness. But so we'll kind of get to that, but kind of putting those characters on the board have meant bringing in new characters, and so yeah, so at this point I still haven't gotten to all the old characters I want to actually get to. But yeah, no, I mean, there's a zillion DC, it's because they've been around forever. There's a bunch of cool stuff that I can see, like, oh, this could be this could be that. Yeah, there's no shortage of those ideas for sure.
But no concern on your part creating something new where, I mean, and again, these are characters in service of a Batman story, the new characters you're creating, rather than, like even really some of the villains that James created, Tynan, before he walked away. It's like, oh, that's a cool idea. And then way to go, James, that, could walk away and do his own thing as he's doing very successfully and everything. But yeah, it's like, oh,
yeah, no, I don't. And like, I it's one of those, like, so when I worked in motion graphics and design, we visited, it would have been a little bit out. It would have been like Christmas 2001.
Okay.
So it was post 9/11, but it was that era of things.
Mm-hmm.
And we visited some friends and some studios and stuff, and we're hanging out and hanging around, and some friends of ours had done some piece of work that was being shown on the Jumbotron in New York, Times Square, that's what I meant, instead of New York. So we made a point to walk through, just to see our friends' work. How cool would that be? Oh my God, Jamie, you made this thing. And what we saw was that he and his studio had ripped us off. And we talked to him about it, and it was like, yeah, no, dude, like, we spent a week fucking going frame by frame through the shit you guys do and figuring out how you did it. And like, I remember standing there looking at our work ripped off on the Jumbotron and knowing this thing that my friends had made for nothing, that we just did as like promotion. These guys had taken, stolen, broken apart, reconfigured, commodified, and sold, and had made, we were scratching and surviving at that point. We were doing we were mowing lawns to keep the doors open. And these guys, like, how much money did this gig pay just to make it on that screen alone? Like,
yeah.
The fucking U.S. Navy ripped us off. There's a naval recruitment video I saw after Saturday Night Live one night. Kelly Sue woke up like thinking we were being invaded, because I was like in the living room screaming like, the fucking Navy, like, what the fuck? But like, so it feels bad, right? It feels like, wait, why didn't we get that money? Like, you have a room full of guys that can give you the Barton Fink feeling. Hire Barton Fink, right? And it's shitty, and you can't do anything about it because it's already happened. And I realized I could let myself fucking stew and just be consumed by that bitterness and the anger and the disappointment and the betrayal and like just the money and like, what the fuck's wrong with us? Why can't we make money? Like all that kind of stuff. Or just say it's an honor to be a part of the global design discussion? Because that's the only thing that's going to get you any sort of revenge. And it's the only thing that's going to get you any sort of sanity, right?
Yep.
So I have been a part of the global design discussion before. And like, it has its pluses, it has its minuses, but like, I'm aware of what those are. And like, I've never felt that like, I shouldn't make up, like, I don't ever think like, oh, this character is too good to put like I got to serve the story in front of me right now. If I got a cool, right, good thing, it's going in, you know.
Attaboy.
I love reusing stuff, but also,
Sure.
you know, yeah, there's new bad guys coming. There's 2 new villains in these first handful of issues that are here for a reason. There's also a lot of old ones too, right? Like so, you know, yeah, I got no problem. I'm fully aware. My blinders are off, you know, when I'm potentially entering a global design discussion, and it's an honor to be a part of it ultimately.
I respect that. A couple, and again, you'll keep these answers spoiler free.
Oh no, I'm getting punchy. I've been doing this all day, man. I might lose it.
Have you really, Maddie? I apologize.
And then in issue 8, what's gonna happen is there's a restaurant, and what's never mind. Sorry, go ahead.
Caesar wanted to know thoughts of the ventriloquist.
No, dolls are creepy. Ventriloquists
Hilarious. You're not wrong.
Creeps.
Matt, do you remember when we were kids and the trailer for the movie Anthony Hopkins?
Oh, fuck you. Fuck you. No. Fuck you. Fuck.
What do you mean, fuck you? Yeah. That's
it's the worst. Oh, it's so creepy.
That one, and It's Alive with the bassinet slowly turning, and you got the claw with the blood.
Oh, and the little Cupid doll that killed Karen Black in Trilogy of Terror.
Trilogy of Terror, sure.
Stabbing her under the couch with the little fucking little horrible racist effigy, fucking killing Karen Black.
Yeah, good thing that shit didn't fuck us up, Matt. Yeah. Clearly.
Yeah. My problem with the ventriloquist is I it's not even a problem, and I don't know, there's something there. There's something to it. And like I realized what a perfect articulation of all the stuff we were talking about like there being all these Batman stories. Like,
yeah,
Batman the Animated Series is a perfect example of like, it was all of the hits. It was all of the hits.
Yeah.
Done in a totally different, refreshing, energetic, energizing way.
Yep.
Right. Like that's what you go for. Like that's what's possible with this much material, right? Is like, how can I reinvent this in a way that's relevant and cool, right? So, but it made me think about how great that show's version of the ventriloquist was. But I always think of the Mr. Show sketch about the East Coast, West Coast ventriloquist beef that ends with all the ventriloquists putting the dummies in a room to talk it out, and they're all standing around waiting. I wonder what's going on in there. I hope they're figuring it out. And then the camera just cuts to like 30 ventriloquist dolls sitting at a table, and then cutting back to the guys outside going, yeah, we don't know. They're the brains of the outfits. They'll figure it out, I hope. Like, that's all I think about is like ventriloquist sitting alone in a room. Like,
Kel didn't have a chance to ask Hopkins about magic when she was working with him, did she?
I want to say that movie terrified her as a child, and she perhaps vociferously avoided it. That's like ringing a bell somewhere, because she's not really a horror person either, but that might have really fucked her up. I think that was probably an obstacle in her and Tony's love story, and they were able to overcome it, and I'm really happy for them.
That's so great, man. Honestly, again, you guys are a little younger, but the 70s made for TV movies, horror movies, are scary as fuck, and a lot of them are on YouTube. There's there's a Bermuda Triangle one with Kim Novak, Alejandro Rey of the Flying Nun, and Doug McClure. And with that cast alone, you got to watch it.
Yeah, I guess Tony Franciosa was busy, so they got Doug McClure. Or James Franciscus. That's a Mystery Science Theater gag, right? Where they argue back and forth. James Franciscus, Tony Franciosa. Fuck. Oh yeah. And what was the one? It and Black Christmas came out like right around. Is it like someone's in the house, or it's
Well, there's when a stranger calls, of course.
Maybe
Calls
that's
coming from the house.
Yeah, yeah, yes. When a stranger calls, that's it.
Yeah, sure.
And that was Did Deborah Hill and John Carpenter make that?
Oh, I don't know. I'll be honest. No, shame on me.
That was maybe Carpenter and Hill, or maybe she wrote it, or there's some connection to other stuff. But yeah, that sort of parallel development of calls coming from, like, those two movies came out at the same, like, they couldn't have influenced each other because they were in production at the same time. But
Understood. Have you been diving through Tubi? Because honestly, there are so many great gems.
Yeah, it's I can just feel the, like,
time suck.
Yeah,
because it is a time suck. I'll admit that.
What are you watching? I don't know.
There's great stuff, and everybody, seriously, recommendation if you're looking for weird documentaries. A lot of comic book documentaries that have come and gone.
Oh yeah, zillions. Yeah,
Warren's is there, Grant's is there. The Claremont one is there. So many.
I think that I saw that the Mignola one is there. Yeah, no, there's a bunch, but just like for the novelty of not having control over television again, not having everything on demand, and just like, what are we watching? I don't know. It's 2 episodes of Emergency. And now it's Baba Black Sheep or Black Sheep Squadron. What was it?
Both titles correct. Yeah, no,
you know what I mean. Like, just that sort of, like, to just give your evening, your destiny over to the Quinn Martin Wheel of Fortune and see what comes out. Like,
I was watching a random episode of Conrad's post Black Sheep Squadron spy show, A Man Called Sloan.
Yeah.
And his partner is an actor, or the character, and the character's name is Torque, and he has a prosthetic hand that has a blowtorch and other weapons in the robotic hand. It's fantastic.
Did they get JJ Arms to play him? That would have been...
yeah, truly, Matt. It was that era.
It felt like it's a JJ Arms ripoff, right?
JJ Arms,
JJ Arms, and the Bionic Man. Let's make this a character.
Exactly.
Not the main character. That'd be weird.
People already are calling up for When a Stranger Calls, directed by Fred Walton, and the writer Steve Feck and Fred Walton also co-wrote it.
I mean, maybe it was When a Stranger Calls was really helped them when they were writing Halloween. Like, maybe that was, I don't know. I got that. It's all those wires a little crossed, but it's good. It's creepy as shit, and it's amazing. It's on television.
You're killing me, man. Yeah, Carol Kane from When a Stranger Calls, of course. In fact, I was telling people, as much as I love Carol Kane, I'm really disappointed in her on Star Trek because it's very one note. And it's a shame. I'm like, this woman's nominated for an Oscar for Hester Street. I'm like, beyond Simca and her great, Kimmy Schmidt and all of her roles and stuff. It's like, no, man, you got a great. It's kind of like the same thing with, oh God, shame on me, the Asian actress that was in everywhere. Yeah, Michelle Yeoh. It's like, man, you're blowing it. You got this Oscar level actress, and you're not writing good stuff for her. But that's I complain enough about Trek, so it's all right.
Paramount made a really, really smart hire. I can't pretend to know everyone in Hollywood, but of the people that I do know, if there was a guy, if you had asked me who would you put in charge of Trek, my answer would have been this dude, and they just hired him like a week, 2 weeks ago, to take over kind of TV and
creative. What's his name, Matt?
His name is ironically Chris Parnell, but he's not that Chris Parnell.
Is that SNL Chris Parnell?
Yeah. But you see, it was on Deadline. I'm not like breaking.
Oh no. And I realized that, and I saw the headline. I just didn't really.
Yeah. When I saw it, that Parnell was leaving for Paramount, I knew subtextually it was Parnes is going to do Star Trek. That even while Paramount was talking to Chris would have been thinking Star Trek. So there's a really great executive that's in charge of things who knows and loves the material deeply and sincerely, and I think there are going to be some bright days ahead.
That's great to hear, and I'm also wondering, Matt, and I certainly hope we are going to see a transition from the people that are involved now. But it also kind of reminds me of what Warner Brothers had to do, pushing out those last DCU movies like Flash and Aquaman 2 and some of those other things, because they made them, and that's where Paramount is with Trek right now, in terms of, well, we know we're going to have at least another 2 seasons of Strange New Worlds. We'll get 1 or 2 of Starfleet Academy, And it's like, I wonder if they're going to blow those out and not even like wait years, because, you know, with that in mind, it's like it might take till 28 to get a new flavor.
It's the crown jewel. Like, I mean, sometimes like it's the unenviable position that Gunn and Safran found themselves in, of like, fucking tear the Band-Aid off. Like, don't try to make it all work if it's not working. Like, it's a sunk cost fallacy, right? Like, if you're like don't try to fix the boat that's leaking. Get a boat that's not leaking.
I'm happy.
You know?
Yeah, I certainly hope so.
I thought, like, you know, I've started to watch the new season of Peacemaker, but even going through and re-editing in the previously on, they took, like, oh my god, that's so hilarious. It's funny. It's just natural.
Talking about the Justice Gang scene.
The Justice Gang have been edited into the season finale of Peacemaker season 1 in the recap. Like, okay, yeah, but that's where we're at now, you know.
No, I'm so glad for everyone. Obviously, the news broke today that the sequel to the first Superman movie is coming in 2 years, and it's like, good, because that's my other concern from a studio standpoint, just as a fan. And I do get that, especially if you lock into a major star, that they have other movie projects, and it's like, yeah, we'll get that sequel in 5 years, and it's like, Jesus Christ, you know, that's not good. That's not good for the franchise or whatever. Yeah. And I'm glad to hear that they're moving forward. I've loved what James has been doing, going even with Creature Commandos and that Suicide Squad movie. I just think he's the right guy for the job.
Yeah, look, I'm you know, technically being paid by Warner Brothers at this point, so like you can't. Everything I say is suspect, but Superman. Yeah, James and Superman was like, it made me realize that there's a difference between comic book movies and superhero movies, and James is making comic book movies, and I like that a lot.
Interesting. So how would you characterize a superhero movie?
I think superhero is a genre or subgenre or whatever, and I think comic book is a mode, right? My favorite thing about Superman was how it felt like a kid explaining a dream they had to you while they had to go to the bathroom, but they didn't want to stop. And then, you know, that it takes. I mean, the comic books credit their audience for being able to hold this shit in their heads in a way that Hollywood is terrified of. Well, how are we gonna? The note I heard from our actors on season 1 of Monarch when we were talking about stuff time and time again is like, you know, I've said this like 9 times, right? I'm like, yep. And your network would like you to say it again, because some people apparently are going to start watching this show in episode 9. Wow. But comic books, no, you hold it all together in your head. You know what this is like. The biggest gift, I mean, as the first gift of the many gifts of Into the Spider-Verse is that opening. Peter Parker, I'm Spider-Man, blah blah blah. You know the story. Like, yeah, I do know the story, because there've been fucking 3 Spider-Man 2s. Like, I got it. You know,
I'm with you absolutely on that.
So like the audaciousness of just, we're jumping into the middle. It's all going. We'll tell the story of how we got here. Maybe you don't need to know. Wait, there have been superheroes for 300,000 years. Yeah. What does it mean? I don't know.
We'll get there.
What were you doing? What was happening in this exact spot 300,000 years ago? I don't know. It's not it has nothing to do with what I'm doing right now. It doesn't. Yep. If it's important, I'll get there. And like, just that you know, Fantastic Four is a great superhero movie, but it was a superhero movie, and Superman moved like a comic book, right? It had that intuitive, just, we're going to go here, we're going to go there. There are these curly cues and cul-de-sacs, and like, you know, there's something in the spirit of how it moved that's akin to a comic that I really appreciate. I could probably articulate it if I thought about it a little bit more, but you know, like Danger Diabolic is a comic book movie. It's not a superhero movie, right? It moved like a comic book, right?
Yeah.
I think Mike Hodges' Flash Gordon moves like a comic book. Now it moves like a comic book on cocaine, but like that's because Mike Hodges' Flash Gordon is like what happens if cocaine makes a movie. But it has that like breathless, fearless. Wizard of Oz feels like a comic book movie. Well, wait, how did she? Do you really? Do you really want to know how the Lollipop Guild Board of Elections determines its 3 representatives? Why are those the three people chosen to represent the Lollipop Guild? Where in the bylaws of the Lollipop Guild are these three guys decided to be the representatives who they clearly declare themselves to be? What democratic process elected them to a board? Is there a board? Who's behind the Lollipop Guild? Who pays for it? Your taxes? What are you doing? If there's a fucking Lollipop Guild, you got lollipops. Like, one guy's clearly drunk and angry, and imagine he's kicking a puppy when he does that dance. What do you need? Fucking go with it, right? So I don't know. There's something about the I was very excited, almost more than anything else, and invigorated by that richness of, and like everybody was a character. There was nobody was just a waitress. Like I want to know, who was that girl that helped Mr. Terrific in the tent? She was great. What's her story? Why were they all wearing Hawaiian shirts? Like, I have my theory, but like it didn't come up in the movie. Why the music? That music. What are they listening to? Why are they wearing Hawaii? Why is it literally just outside of town? That's comic book shit, man. I love it.
Lex's team. Yeah, how do you get that job? And they're like so like Apple or name your favorite corporation.
Yeah, no, exactly. No, it's a corporate cult. I get it. It's a corporate cult.
Yeah.
But just the idea that like Lex's secret dimension rift hideout is a beach outside of town. Great.
You met in Monarch, and you mentioned that obviously studio sends back. No, they got to say it 9 times for it to drill through. It's a comment and conversation I've been having with a lot of other screenwriters, that they're getting that studio note of, no, you really have to write the dialogue deliberately, because the likelihood is you don't have their full attention. They're on their phone, they're doing laundry, they're at the gym, whatever. So you kind of have to, no, we really need the dialogue to be more deliberate. Thoughts on that?
I think it's interesting that software companies hired people from network television to make television, and not people who I don't think it's true. You
don't think that note is true?
No, I think
that theory.
I think it's a terrible note that's designed to cover bad shit.
Ha!
I think people get bored. I think that's why are the people are paying attention? Yeah, it's because it sucks.
Yeah.
Fucking sucks.
Yes.
How many times did they explain the upside down in Stranger Things? 0 times.
Yep.
Great.
Yep.
No one reminds us, oh, right, but 11 was the runaway escape of their project in Hawkins' lab, and now is their psychic power. Like, no, because it's awesome and people are into it and you follow it,
Attaboy, Maddie.
It's terrible. Like, no, it's disastrous and it's fucking abusive. Like, it's just like everyone is terrified. All these executives are terrified they're not gonna have their jobs in a year, and so they're trying to smooth out every single interesting. They have it registers as contempt for the audience. Like, I think the audience is morons. It's a lack of confidence, and they don't know how to get good work out of creative people, right? And it's like, it's a reason why they're almost all network TV washouts. Like, okay, that's okay, but I think if you used to run CBS or whatever, and now you're running, like, you're going to run Netflix like you run CBS, because that's what your experience. You're not going to think about it like Netflix. You're not going to, the profligate overspending, and sort of, they had no problem spending like tech bros, but now it's time to deliver, and it doesn't happen. And like, it all looks like shit, right? Like, I know that's another thing that like directors are now trying to fight for in their contracts, is like, they want to have algorithm or they want to have compression algorithm approval.
What does that mean, man?
Like, all of the different streaming services take the digital image and affect it in certain ways to make it deliver at the rate and velocity that it does, and that affects its quality. Like, there are TVs you can buy that have the apps on it, and like, those apps have, this is optimized for Netflix. You can watch this the way Netflix directors, but the Netflix on my TV doesn't look like it looks on your TV.
Crazy.
Yeah. So, and I know that's a thing that some directors and cinematographers now fighting for. Is like, no, I want visual approval. Fucking Happy Gilmore 2, right? Almost $200 million movie, looked like a Hallmark thing they shot last weekend in Vancouver.
Yes.
Right. And,
Yes.
and it's like, because it's however it's getting pumped out, and like it just looks bad, and it's dire and weird, and sort of profligate spending has now met the reality of like, you really can't lose money forever. Oh no, what are we gonna do? What have we done? And look, they've made nothing but terrible executive decisions. I look, during the strike was the end. The strike was the last chance the traditional networks had to stand up to Netflix.
Yes.
Why are you guys letting the wolf that's eating you stay in the house? They were all not negotiating, because the last holdouts were the streamers. Amazon, Apple, and Netflix were the last holdouts. I had sort of 50-50 odds that Apple TV wasn't going to exist on the other side of the strike, right? Like, as much money as they spend, it's a fucking rounding error on what their money is. But like,
Sure.
why are you guys helping Netflix? You guys could all settle, because you're gonna, because you have to. Right? There's no you without us, period.
That's right.
So fucking settle. And then in 9 months, you've got content and Netflix doesn't. And like, they're not all going to be Squid Game.
Yeah.
But they were like, no, they stuck. It was like, wow, this is the last chance you guys. And you could see, like, that was the thing, is that little mini studios started to break off because they knew they couldn't survive, and it wasn't in their best interest to help Netflix survive or whatever. So like, well, they blew that, because again, it's you admit that it's the thing about not being able to learn on the fly, like when you're presented with new information. Like, learning means you've got more data. Doesn't have to mean you were wrong. You made the right call that you thought at the moment. Things have changed. Change your strategy. But like, nothing better than David Zaslav. I had 5 different HBO apps on my Apple TV, and I didn't know which one it was anymore. I like, literally took me 20 minutes to get to Peacemaker because I kept opening apps that didn't work anymore. And I have to delete, and then have to go and reread, and like, oh, it is HBO again, but not the old HBO app, and not the HBO Max app, and not Max. And like, it was just, what is this?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
HBO Now, HBO Play. Yeah.
Yes. No, that was Now. That was the other one. Yeah. Go now 2 HBOs and HBO Max.
And oxymoron.
5 apps, one worked, and it was like the dumbest game of Russian roulette, and I lost.
Yeah. By the way, a shout out from Art Baltazar to you.
Hey, Art. Good to speak to you. So I got to see him at San Diego a little bit.
Oh, that's great. I'm glad you guys saw each other. I like when my friends see each other. That's wonderful, man. Well, Matt, do you really, and forgive me, but I am, this is something that's always burning in me. 10 years from now, do you think we'll still have scripted drama on traditional TV?
Oh yeah, especially on traditional TV. It's all traditional TV has. And
we're getting a lot of game shows and reality shows instead.
Sure, that's true. But reality and game show, like, it can't.
I hope not.
Everything, because like the linear TV dies if they let it die, because they don't want to invest in it. But if they invest in it, it's going to win, right? It's the model that worked. It's sustained for 80 years.
Yes.
You idiots.
Matt, that's why, like, again, hey, Netflix and some of the, and we've seen it with Amazon. Hey, we're going to do commercials. Congratulations.
You've reinvented network television.
Yes.
Desi Arnaz is smiling. Wait until we figure out what happens when you shoot with 3 fucking cameras at once.
Well, fast channels, free advertising supported television, or as we used to call it,
television. Yeah. That's another kind of delight. Like, it's also, look, there's going to be a moment, there will be a phase, there will be a period where there's AI written stuff. It's going to be garbage.
Yeah.
And there will be novelty.
Yes.
So they'll be able to spin it at first, like, oh my God, 800 million people watched the AI show. Like, yeah. Now tell me how many people came back for episode 5 or whatever. It's going to suck, because it sucks, right? Or it'll be AI generated the same way reality TV is reality. You know, I had friends that used to edit. Dude, I had a friend that was the editor on The Simple Life, and there's a whole other cut of that show that was not about celebrating Nicole Richie and Paris Hilton.
Okay, I was gonna say
There was a
Nicole Richie
version,
Paris
and
Hilton
like
show.
he was telling me that like that family was so funny. Those people, he just
that
told me
they
that
lived with. That's right. I forgot about that.
he was like they thought
Yeah.
those girls were like dumber than rocks, and were just like, it was like we're being visited by moronic aliens, and we're trying to be polite. And oh my God, I remember him telling me about a bit where the kid just looks to the camera and goes, "I'm gonna show him a can opener." And he just puts a can opener on the counter to see how they reacted to, like, there was a whole different, and then they realized, no, these girls are stars. This is all about how dumb the yokels are, not how dumb our brilliant starlets are or whatever.
Blew it.
So like, yeah, I mean, I'm sure that'll be the thing, is they'll do AI, it'll suck, and then there'll be a secret writer's room that's rewriting AI and making it sit. Oh yeah, no, it's AI. Like, it's gonna suck. It's gonna suck. It's why it all looks like shit. It all looks like shit. All of it.
Yeah, I hear you. No, I hear you. I mean, yeah.
I like how fucked up it looks. I like how fucked up it moves.
Yes.
I remember seeing, somebody showed me like a AI generated video of a surfer riding a wave, and it's like how things move in dreams. You know how like clocks are never the same in dreams and all that. Like oh, it's not really moving. It's like those videos of like where quick morphs instead of camera moves, you know what I mean? It's like, wait, that's not real. So I actually like it because of its weird jankiness, but like the more they try to get rid of that, it just all looks like it's at that same, like, it's just shitty. It looks shitty. Do you remember the first time you went to a video store and discovered 780 Bruce Willis movies you had never heard of? How is there a Bruce Willis movie I've never heard of? It's Bruce Willis 1. I like Bruce Willis 2 and 3. I go to movies all the fucking time. What is Edge of Danger? What is this? And like, oh, it cost $3,800,000. $3 million went to Bruce Willis. $800,000 paid for the whole rest of the movie.
I know. Yeah.
And they hired an intern that knew Photoshop, who made the cover look like fucking Sliver or whatever, and like oh, it's a ripoff. It's fucking direct to video. They've just packaged it so it looks legit. Like, it's gonna be that. It's just gonna be, this is garbage. Like, I didn't like, they weren't even like the Canon movies or Golden Globes. They weren't even good bad. They were like they didn't know they sucked. They were trying to like, they just suck.
Have you seen that Red Letter Media takedown of those movies and really going into minutia of the movies? And it's sad because, again, they didn't even know how Willis had degraded mentally.
That's an unfortunate. I'm talking about like an era kind of pre, you know, like like sort of like Blockbuster era where Blockbuster
Redbox. Or even
like really video stores where like you would see, there'd be the movies you knew, but then there were also like 400 other new releases of like, oh, it says Baldwin, Alec, oh no, Steven,
right?
You know,
well, that's
whatever.
Your Sliver, absolutely.
It was like
Wingshauser's son.
Yes,
Wingshauser for that matter, by himself and everything.
Roger Corman putting out Carnosaur. You know, when Jurassic Park came out on tape, like it was that kind of early to mid 90s of just like, oh, there's a direct to video market that has understood that we need to pay an intern instead of just getting someone's nephew to make a shitty poster. Like we need to make this look like all the other product, right? It's the Roger Corman. It is Roger Corman, right? The posters are always sexier and more violent than the movies, you know? They never, the posters of Roger Corman films rarely live up to the promise of the premise.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But I'll watch just in case. You never know. Those stewardesses might be onto something.
Michael says, but they're going to get better AI and will be more difficult to determine in the world what is real.
I'm not talking about that. We're talking about this capability. That's not what sure, maybe, who knows? I'm not an expert, but I know it can't do what I do. And I know that the most inept cinematographer in the world is better at lighting understanding what lights do and how they work than because AI is not A and it is not I. It's doesn't do what it says, and it's just producing riffs on the same hyper saturated. It's like, yeah, it's bad. It's real bad. Oh, dude, Kelly Sue got a new TV the other day. I was so mad. It took me like 10 minutes to turn all that shit off.
What do you mean?
Motion smoothing and now, so the same way that there's motion, they do it for audio now too.
Yes, I do know.
So part of the reason that people have trouble hearing what's going on is because that's because your television is trying to is giving you yeah, so you got to turn that shit off for audio as well as video, and it makes an incredible difference right away. But I was so mad. I turned the TV on. It was all, what do they call it? How do I turn this off? Oh, fucking made me furious. And she was like, why are you cursing? What's wrong? I'm like, holy shit. This isn't what the makers of Twisted Metal season 2 wanted their show to look like.
I had no idea to that level of, as you were saying earlier, about what directors are asking for and stuff. Yeah. And that they're fucking with the final product.
Yeah. Because now the algorithm is doing whatever the equivalent of like motion smoothing is.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
It makes the picture smaller. Lets it distribute it. It lets them. I don't know. It cuts down on data charges. I don't know why they do it, but it's not the way the films were made to be seen. And you could surely learn how. I was the live action guy in the world of animators where I worked. Like I knew how to light for film and video, and I would light something. And then we're like, no, just like the green screen, dummy. It's all green screen. I'm like, oh yeah, right. Like, right. It's right. We need to write everything else we can, like, people can learn what does your algorithm need? What do you need me to light this to look like? And it will look better. It'll be what they want it to be but no one gives a shit.
No. Maddie, it is this kind of inside information that thankfully happens on a word balloon conversation. And that's why I genuinely appreciate it. So, listen, dude, it's been 2 hours. I don't want to fuck you up. I'm sure you got Kel waiting for you or whatever. But absolutely. James says.
Also, I challenge anyone to be able to tell the difference between an AI version of a Chicago Fire PD detective show and one written by humans, maybe. And that's the real tragedy. Sorry, I missed that comment. That was rude, and people work hard on the shows, I'm sure. But you ever hear the David Milch bit about why he loves Law and Order?
Talk to me.
Because you could get up and leave the room, and you come back and a new episode's on, but you think it's still the same episode.
Oh God, yeah.
And eventually, it's like, I don't even like. It's like it becomes like a Robert Altman movie. I'm like, who are all these people? What's going on? I should have gone to the bathroom. It's a whole other show. Whatever happened to the guy who raped the girl? What? No, we never. Okay, now we're looking up about a murderer. Weird. Okay,
yeah. You're not wrong. Jesus Christ, that's fantastic, man. Oh God, I love it. I again, it's when I talk to you insiders and you tell me what the hell's going on beyond the script and beyond what we see on camera and stuff. I think it's really important. I
think there's ways it could be of use. I think there are ways it could be used ethically, but Lord knows useful and ethical are not the ethos of anyone running studios or networks. So
I'm with you, buddy. We can wrap, I suppose. I mean, Caesar, thoughts on?
We can do last.
Well,
got
no, and I love the tangent, but yeah, thoughts on Professor Pig?
Oh, creepy as shit.
Yeah, fun. My God, honestly, Matt.
My God, scary as shit.
I think it's next week's issue. I had Philip on last night. Next week's issue of Batman and Robin, another new Batman villain, the Quiet Man, and it's great. And I read it, and it's outstanding. And I do love, again, like yourself, that the Bat family keeps coming up with new, interesting villains.
Yeah,
and again, when you think
part of the challenge,
hell yes, absolutely. Yeah. So I'm excited to see what you're going to have in your run. I guess final call, folks. 4 questions, and while I'm doing that, I will mention 2 old movies that I've been watching recently because Matt and I will bond over old movies. I read Scott Iman's John Wayne biography, and it is fascinating. And I know he's a piece of crap, but I love his movies, and I can separate the art from the artist. And his period after The Uneducated, 1939, Wayne makes his standout Western Stagecoach, and suddenly this cliffhanger and B-movie actor is elevated to full star status. He's under contract to Republic Pictures. Republic is a
also known as
cliffhanger.
Repugnant Pictures back in the day.
Absolutely, because they were a B-movie and cliffhanger making cheapo studio.
Yeah.
Suddenly, under contract, they've got a megastar.
Yeah.
So they're like, hey, stay with Republic. We will let you choose your projects, and we will make A-level movies with you. So I am watching The Flying Tigers, which was made in 1942, right after Pearl Harbor, very early World War II movie. And it is an entertaining movie, but you see the cheapness. Yeah. I really do. I appreciate the real story of the Flying Tigers. This group, if you don't know, of flyers that flew to protect China in the 1930s, prior to World War II, to when China and Japan were kind of at it with each other. Yeah. But and so I'm really enjoying that movie. And again, really weird, but Wayne is great. And that's the thing with a lot of these Republic 40s movies. Wayne is great, but unfortunately surrounded by a crappy movie. But then the other one that I'm watching, and I don't know if you ever saw it, from the early 50s, and it's one that Wayne produced, Big Jim McLean, him and James Arness.
Oh yeah, sure, yeah. I remember
they're working for the Un-American Activities Committee, and of course Wayne was very pro McCarthyism. He was a big believer. Yeah, so literally, I'm out looking for the communists in Hawaii, and they're pot growers.
Did you find them out there, James Arness? I didn't think there's a single communist on this whole island.
and Alan Napier, Alfred from Batman, is the communist crime lord, like 15 years before Batman. Love it. I know. Any good old gems that you've recently watched? I love that you're watching X-Files with your daughter. That's great.
I just slipped Patton Oswalt a copy of One More Time.
Oh, God bless you. Absolutely. Everyone, that's a terrible movie that Matt and I have adored for decades.
And I'd forgotten this. I forgot Richard Donner directed Salt and Pepper. I didn't remember that.
I did too. I forgot that as well. Oh, my God.
So it's Richard Donner makes Salt and Pepper, and then Jerry Lewis makes One More Time. And it wasn't good Jerry Lewis either.
Oh, no. It's Peter Lawford and Sammy Davis post-Rat Pack years, but not that far from there. And they're 50-year-old men trying to be in swinging London.
Yeah. It's like What's New Pussycat with that. Yeah, and it literally is such a mess that ends with Jerry Lewis just walking in from off frame as the director and telling them they don't have an ending, so they got to wrap it up, and everyone kind of goofing and laughing, and then One More Time.
Yes, Sam sings the theme song. Yes.
Boy, oh boy.
James wants to know what your favorite. Oh, and while you're thinking, James wants to know what your favorite era of Doctor Who was. I'm a Pertwee fan myself.
And
I love the new stuff. And Tennant and Matt Smith were amazing, and I like Capaldi as well.
Yeah, I wasn't who scared me when I was a kid. It had that same sort of effect that actually the classic Trek did. Like the effects were so not Star Wars.
Sure.
Like they must have thought this looked good. If this looks good, it must be real. Why? I had some like weird uncanny valley with the special effects. Like why? It creeped me out. As part of the reason that the Max Headroom thing obsessed me so much is it was as scary as Doctor Who actually felt to me, because I was terrified of it. So I've kind of not seen a ton of. But I appreciate a bit of the old Venetian kung fu from John Pertwee and seen some of the kind of classic Tom Baker stuff, but I really came into it with Tennant and really love that first Matt Smith season as a piece of construction. I really enjoy it. But the sort of so I'm sorry, I'm very much a tourist and a Johnny come lately, but the sort of the Tennant until the end, which is really dodgy, and then the first Matt Smith year is I think really terrific and delightful. Sorry, I
was rooting for both oh God, shame on me, the woman that played Doctor Who, and I was rooting for Ncuti Gatwa as well. Again, unfortunately, the writing I think wasn't there for either of them. Frankly,
I like most of the holiday specials with the Ncuti Gatwa stuff, but
I liked them too.
The season had moments, but not. I didn't come back for the second one. I kept meaning to, and then it's over, and like it was really really felt like a I appreciated the idea, but I don't know if the execution was ever there.
Okay, Michael, by the way, and this is why I love the chat, says One More Time was written by John Pertwee's brother. Fantastic. I did not know that. I didn't know anyone wrote One More Time. I literally thought Jerry, Peter, and Sammy just got together and like, all right, what now? What do you want to do? But it's cool. You know what, Matt?
I just did. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. I was just going to say I'm fascinated lately by 60s and early 70s ITV British shows. The half-hour ones and the hour ones. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
The Persuaders and
yes,
There's a really great podcast that goes through all of those shows. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Fuck yeah, absolutely.
What was I going to say? Oh, I just taught a class about on Fritz Lang in America.
Yes, Matt. Yes, please. Talk about that, because
it was cool. It was great.
How'd that go?
It was fun. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it and had a great class, great students, quote unquote, great people. It was very active conversations, and it was just a lot of fun to look at that stuff and go back and was it a specific Lang era or the whole body of work? Yeah, well, it was Lang in America, with the idea of being, how does a guy that the entirety of the German film industry was built to cater, how does he then go to the studio system? And like, let's look at these movies that are kind of the most made, and how did that happen? How is it possible that he made this? What happened when he tried to make that, and all that stuff? So like, we kind of didn't watch your
Metropolis or any of the classical.
What was it, the American one? So we watched we did Manhunt, we did Rancho Notorious, The Big Heat, and Scarlet Street.
Interesting. All right, good choices. Yeah,
and very the most kind of long of his American movies, I think, arguably, and so it was that was a lot of fun to kind of really get into the fucking weeds on that, and like, I guess like Glenn Ford recorded every phone call and sexual encounter he ever had. So like his Wikipedia page says, Glenn Ford had sex with, 419 women because his son has recordings of all of them. Whatever, so like Glenn Ford's memoir is really well reported because he had the actual conversations and all that kind of stuff. And fucking Gloria Graham married her stepson.
Yes.
Gloria Graham's fourth husband was the son of her third husband.
Yes. I know. Yikes.
Violet Biggs, ladies and gentlemen. Oh golly.
I let me tell you. Exactly. Well, Matt, have you ever seen I think it's called While the City Sleeps, another Lang.
Oh yeah.
And of course, comic book connection to that, because there's a comic book killer played by Drew Barrymore's father, I believe. John Drew Barrymore, the son of the classic Barrymore.
I don't think I put that together. Interesting. Yeah. Although I get While the City Sleeps and the one right before it flip-flopped in my head because I watched them like back to back the one with Raymond Burr as the sketch artist, Leitch, who's always he's the creep in it. It's not Blue Gardenia. Is it Blue Gardenia? No.
What do you title?
Oh no, he's in Blue. I'm mixed. They're all mixed up now.
That's all right.
While the City Sleeps is the newspaper one, though, right? With Vincent.
Correct.
Price? Okay,
right. And Dana
Andrews playing a drunk who's actually drunk, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sadly,
okay. Took me a minute.
Indeed. James wants to know if we've seen Blake 7. Sadly, no, but I certainly have read enough about it, and it intrigues me as a great British sci-fi show that is still beloved. Shorter run.
A little. Like that and Red Dwarf are kind of I've seen it, but probably not enough to have an opinion on.
Agreed. I'm the same way. Absolutely. Yeah. All right. Well, it seems we're out of questions, and again, you've gone over 2 hours, Matty. Matt, good Lord, we go another 4. And I know that, but I also don't want to keep you from Cal.
Yeah, I should eat, and there's probably dogs in you walking, all that stuff.
Yeah, probably.
Food is probably a good idea.
But again, reminding everybody, Matt's killing it already. And DC was kind enough to give me a look at issue 2. Issue 1 dropped today of Batman. I imagine most of your stores fortified their supplies So I'm sure it flew off the shelves, but I have a feeling there might be still a few.
I've seen some pictures of the book in the world, and it was now Brian's. Hey, Brian.
Yeah,
actually, I think Kelsey was out at dinner with Brian. So I think that means Brian's home. That means Kel's probably home upstairs.
Well, that's why he texted me while we were talking, and he's like, "I'm watching now." So he's been watching for like the last 15 minutes or so.
Good.
But
Brian, I hope Brian, you heard my scintillating rant about the algorithmic compression of cinematography.
Fucking gold, son. Don't kid yourself. Maddie, I swear to you, it's just like Philip last night was going on about trumpets for about 5 minutes. And he's like, all right, I know this has nothing to do with Batman or Robin. I'm like, dude, it's called Word Balloon. This is exactly the place.
Sometimes you're the word, sometimes you're the balloon. Be the balloon, baby. Be the balloon. Make space for it all. Compass.
So Batman #1, everybody. It's a shame, Maddie, if it was a solo right now. Here, I'm going to do this. We'll see if this works. Because
it's me. Look, it's Ron Santo. Look, it's Ron Santo. Oh, there we are.
If you move your mouth, you could be Batman for a second. There you go.
I can't tell my right from my left.
Go up a little bit. Center. Boom. Got it. All right. You can talk like Batman right now and promote your own book.
Oh, it's like the old Clutch Cargo bit on.
Yes. You got nothing to say?
Woo! I told him. Woo!
That's right. It's Clinton. So yeah, if I don't know if you wanted to give a commercial for your own book right now, Batman.
Read Batman. Batman. Me. Batman.
Excellent. There you go. That was beautiful. Excellent.
Ron Santo. It's the Ron Santo misprint card.
Fantastic.
Ron Santo's rookie card where they.
Maddie, as we're closing, seriously, I hope
his rookie card where they printed that he was Don Landrum, but he autographed it anyway.
Oops. Wow.
Is that not the most Ron Santo? That Ron Santo's rookie card, they misprinted him and he still autographed it. God bless you, Ron.
I thankfully had the pleasure of getting to know Ron before he passed, and I used to imitate him on the air. And he was so sweet about it. I'm like, Ron, really, no disrespect, but I know, John. It's okay. I think it's funny.
God, Jesus! Oh, come on, Jesus!
He would cut sorry, folks. A couple of baseball things. So the Score was a competing station with WGN that had the Cub games, and on a rain delay or something, Ron would say, I was listening to the Score today, and they made a really interesting point. And all of a sudden, the radio signal would go to white noise. And Ron told us in his head, the producers are like, Ron, that's our competition. We don't talk about our competition on the. Okay, sorry about that. And Ronnie, anyway, we're in the third inning or whatever. And so there's that.
Geez,
exactly, man, on his sleeve. God bless him.
They killed him. That the Cubs, like, I remember the last year he was calling games, and there was one like he just fucking melted down in like the 6th inning of like some bullshit. It wasn't even fall. It was just like, God, you just hear his heart breaking. I'm like, you guys, you're killing him.
Exactly.
You've already set him on fire. You're killing Ron Santo. I'm amazed he didn't die on the air. They're like a fucking blown bloop, a fumble. Ugh.
Do you think they can get their shit together, Maddie, and make it through on the wild card?
Oh, you know what? We had a fucking tough, like a tough July and August, like real tough.
Yeah.
Magic
up till then
from here on out. So it gets easier from here on out.
I suppose, and adjustments can be made, and I certainly hope so. And there is time to adjust before the postseason. Yeah, and also, as you know, we're both jaded old men that have enjoyed. And I said, listen, even if they don't make it to the postseason, it was a lot of fun this year.
Yeah, we were number one from the second week to the All-Star break, like without sweat. Like, that's cool. And the real joy, the Cardinals are 4th. The Cardinals are 17 and a half games out. That's what really matters in baseball.
That's a diehard Cub fan, kids.
How bad are the Cards doing?
That is fantastic. That is great.
And have they renamed it Comiskey Park yet, or are the White Sox still fucking around?
No. It's the Cell. Whatever. I know.
Nope.
Good Lord.
Nope.
And I got buddies.
Sears Tower. It's the Sears Tower, and it's Comiskey Park. I don't give a fuck.
Right. Absolutely. 100%, son. You're preaching to
I'm preaching to the choir. Right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. My man, as always. Thank you as always. And I truly miss the two of you. I miss Brian as well. By the way, Brian's really enjoyed the last 20 minutes of this.
Oh, I'm sure Brian loves this. You're like this. A Jack Brickhouse Cubs
Hey,
playing card.
hey!
Hey!
Woo, boy! Remind me when we're off the air. I'll tell you some.
Oh no! Don't ruin that for me. That's
All right,
no.
fine. All right,
I get it. I know. I got
you
it.
might have heard the rumors. They were confirmed by various sports reporters that knew better. And yeah.
All right, maybe I don't know the rumors. I just sort of made some assumptions about men of his generation.
And he was incredibly kind to me in the 90s, as he sadly was slipping mentally, but it was still very sweet. And I always felt bad for him because Harry got all the love, Jack got all the contempt.
Yeah. But boy, those declines were both remarkable, though. I remember just listening to Harry talk about the Batgirls for
Marla Collins, boy, oh boy. Let me tell you. Yeah. Arnie Harris, the director, used to tell us the greatest stories about both guys, and we just pound the table laughing. So our great director, Arnie Harris. So yeah.
That Batgirl, yeah. Oh, buddy.
The Will Ferrell imitation does not do it justice, kids.
Perfect.
It's cute, but yeah, it's like
but it's real. It's closely observed. Hey.
All right, final comments. Let's see, anybody. just finished. Yes, Batman issue 1. Cool ideas, smart dialogue, astounding visuals. A wonderful capsule, of the issue. Quite agree.
Thank you.
More to come from the boys.
I think the second one's better. I think the third's even better than that. I think the fourth one's better than that, and I think the fifth one is even better. So, I'm glad people are liking it. It's been a very it's been a day that's left me awash with gratitude, and I wanted the whole take was to kind of do a really superhero forward take on Batman, and I couldn't figure out a better pitch than I think he should be in the blue and the gray again, and it seems like people are feeling it, so that's really cool, and that's wonderful, and I'm having a blast.
Beautiful. Thanks everybody for watching.
Bye y'all.
Thanks, and we'll talk next week. More Great Word Balloon Live coming your way next week, starting with Greg Rucka on Monday.
Oh, lovely.
Cheetah and Cheshire, or Cheshire and Cheetah, robbing the Justice League. We'll get more info from Mr. Rucka, and a whole lot more surprises on your way during September. Join us if you will. Until next time, everybody stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy.